61. Friday, sunny and 82. Keep it going for the long holiday weekend. Saturday, sunny and 80. Sunday, sunny 79. Monday, sunny 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't melt in the heat. If your AC unit isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in the comfort zone fast with an AC service call for only $99. To get your AC serviced, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Yeah, I just think, first of all, my thoughts and prayers are with the families who are dealing with this unspeakable tragedy today and having to talk to their children about it, those who lost their children. It is right and good and I think necessary to pray in these times. It is sad to hear public figures very quickly turn to saying that prayer is nonsense or unnecessary or weak. And I think if I were to give them the good faith interpretation that they're unwilling to give their friends on the right, I would say that this is a call to action, right? They're frustrated that there's not action that goes with prayer. But your response does not need to be to denigrate prayer. And it becomes actually perverse when the people in the pews were likely attacked for practicing their religion, for practicing this tenet of faith. And you say that because that didn't protect them or because that doesn't solve the problem, that people should not pray and that you denigrate that practice. I have lived a life that has had its portion very different, but nonetheless of sort of unthinkable tragedy. And prayer did not solve the fact that my husband died while I was 7 months pregnant, but it did not prevent that, but it got me through every single day after that. Mm-hmm. And it helped me to raise my children. And I just think that taking the message to the public that is somehow an insult to people who were killed while practicing their faith is so gross.
Yesterday, we witnessed an unspeakable tragedy in Minneapolis, a school shooter who fantasized about doing what he was able to do yesterday. A school shooter, an individual who felt very disassociated from normal society, felt like he didn't fit in, and perpetually thought about carrying out the act that he did yesterday. We saw that happen in Minneapolis yesterday, and he took the lives of 2 innocent children. He injured 17 more people, I think 3 adults, 14 children. He planned it out. He executed his plan, and he took the lives of 2 individual children who were sitting in a church at their Catholic school inside their parish there, who were participating in a very run-of-the-mill Wednesday morning mass. This is something that I think a lot of people in our country can very much so ascribe to. Whether you're a practicing Catholic not right now, if you attended a Catholic school, you understand what it was like to get up and to go to mass in the morning. And I think if you went to a different parochial school, you might be able to understand what it means to go to chapel or whatever it would have been called for you. A lot of people can relate and can visualize in an incredibly uncomfortable way what took place yesterday. It is one of the most bizarre outcomes of yesterday morning's events to watch the attack of all the things that could be brought to the surface, that could be discussed in this moment of great tragedy. It is wild to me that the concept of praying is one of the things that is under attack the most. That the idea that you would say to somebody, you're praying for them, would be met with immediate and visceral disgust and hatred. That's a pretty shocking thing, isn't it? Unless if you're somebody who is a practicing Christian, if you've been a practicing Christian, if you understand the purpose of prayer, which is to meet with the Holy Spirit, to meet with God, to have that intercession where you get to go directly to your God and plead and humble yourself to plead for forgiveness, which is yours in Christ, which is to beg for things, to beg for peace, to beg for mercy, to discuss, to unburden yourself with whatever it is. That prayer, that act of prayer with God is one of the most intimate and personal practices that a human being can have. And in the wake of unspeakable evil yesterday, for some reason, there is quivering and shuddering at the constant repetitive nature of saying, we'll pray for you. Why is that? Our poll for today is simply asking if you pray. And this is something I will reflect on my own experience here that it's probably been in the last 2 years. I'll tell people all the time, like, oh my gosh, I'll pray for you. Something comes up. We don't often say I'll pray for you like if something good happens. It's only really when something bad happens. Which is kind of neglectful, I would imagine, on our broken human part, to think that we wouldn't automatically react when something good happens to someone and be like, oh, that's so wonderful, I'll pray for you. It just sounds kind of weird to say that. But certainly prayers of gratitude are necessary and welcome by our Creator. Why is it that this prayer is so off-putting to people like the mayor of Minneapolis yesterday, who this made me so mad yesterday. I hadn't even gotten to work yesterday. It made me so mad the way he was speaking about this tragedy in this moment. This probably took place at like 11 a.m. So this is pretty much his first opportunity to speak about what took place at Annunciation Church. And if you haven't heard this yet, brace yourself, because this is pretty unbelievable.
And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance.
Don't say this is about thoughts and prayers. He's Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, who I affectionately want to refer to as Jacob Frey.
You can do that.
Thank you. I think I am entitled.
As long as I can call you Annie Frey.
You and everybody else. It's really awesome when you're like speaking at something.
And they introduce you.
Yeah, it makes me chuckle.
Amber Frey.
Yeah. You better get her in here. Where is she?
Where is she?
I love that girl.
You're standing off the side waiting to be called.
Yeah. Like, what are the odds? That's like my name almost. Mayor Frey of Minneapolis, Mayor Frey. What a weird thing for him to come out and say, like, you got this bottled up rage. We all do. Everybody sees this happen. Everybody understands that there is evil and tragedy that has just taken place. And he comes out and he starts lobbing bombs at prayer? We're going to talk about that throughout the course of the show. I want to go to the press briefing right now and listen to Carolyn Levitt, who is going to speak on behalf of the White House regarding the Minneapolis school shooting. Let's listen to Carolyn Levitt.
Yesterday at the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where a deranged shooter opened fire during morning mass, killing an innocent 8-year-old and 10-year-old. 14 other children and 3 adults were also injured during this horrible tragedy. This was the first morning mass of the school year for these beautiful, innocent children, and this sacred religious service was desecrated by an evil monster. We are all eternally grateful to the heroic law enforcement officers and first responders whose courage and swift response aided all of those impacted by this horrible tragedy. As Director Kash Patel confirmed yesterday, the FBI is currently investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. President Trump signed a proclamation yesterday following his call with the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, acknowledging the victims and their families and directing flags to be flown at half-mast. President Trump and the First Lady encouraged the entire nation to join all of us in praying for the victims and their families as they face unimaginable grief and loss. The White House and the FBI will continue to provide further updates as they become available. I also have a quick scheduling announcement for you today. The President will travel to New York City on September 22nd to address the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday, September 23rd. On another matter, as Americans make their Labor Day weekend travel plans, they will be able to enjoy 5-year low gas prices thanks to President Trump fully unleashing American energy dominance. President Trump ended Joe Biden's Green New Scam policies and is delivering on his promise to make America affordable again. These savings at the pump are giving everyday American families more room in their budgets at the end of each month, which is the exact opposite of what we saw under the previous administration. And as we commemorate Labor Day this year, we finally have a president who fights and delivers for the American worker every single day. President Trump believes that American workers are the heart and soul of our economy and our national identity, which is why he's championed an agenda that puts them first always. For decades, the hardworking men and women of our country who built the greatest nation in world history were sold out by selfish, greedy, short-sighted globalists who put our country on a path to economic and cultural ruin. They hollowed out our factories and towns and betrayed the American working class by shipping jobs overseas and importing millions of low-wage migrants to replace American workers. Under President Trump, this national disgrace is over. American workers are, once again, being put at the center of national trade policy, and the dignity of American labor is being defended. As a result, President Trump has already brought in nearly $10 trillion in new private and foreign investments so that the top businesses in the world can create high-paying jobs in America and hire American workers to fill them. In fact, since President Trump took office, the economy has added more than 500,000 new jobs to the workforce. In a stark reversal from the Biden administration, all of that job creation has been driven by private sector growth, and all employment gains have gone to native-born Americans. Wages for blue-collar workers are now rising at the fastest rate in the past 60 years. And the average American worker has already seen a $500 wage increase this year alone. Thanks to the largest middle tax cuts ever signed into law by President Trump, with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, Americans in all 50 states will keep more of their hard-earned money. The average American taxpayer will see a tax cut of nearly $4,000 because of these pro-growth provisions, according to analysis from the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation. In other news, President Trump continues to deliver on his promise to restore law and order to our nation's capital. Since President Trump's intervention, there have been more than 1,283 arrests right here in the District of Columbia. Total crime in D.C. is down 19%, and violent crime is down 30%. Carjackings in the district are down 67%. Homicides are down 57%. Robberies are down 40%. Motor vehicle thefts are down 32%. And assaults with dangerous weapons are down 23%. And property crime is down 18%. These numbers prove the president's bold actions to make D.C. safe and beautiful again are working, just like he said they would. And that's why on Monday, the president took additional action to sign an executive order taking steps to ensure that cashless bail in Washington, D.C. is eliminated. For too long, D.C.'s reckless cashless bail policies have allowed dangerous criminals to be quickly released, which endangers everyone who lives in and visits our wonderful capital. No cash bail has also foolishly forced law enforcement to repeatedly arrest the same offenders over and over again, only for them to be released back into our nation's capital. This is the definition of insanity, and the president is seeking to end it.
Kaylin Levitt from the White House right now talking at the White House press briefing. We will check into that and see if any news develops out of the questions and answers that they potentially give here after she's done kind of giving the intro to the press. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Hans von Spakovsky is going to be with us. He is a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, and I'm going to ask him about some of these documents that have been revealed. And President Obama's office has responded and said, normally out of respect for the office of the presidency that Donald Trump currently holds, we don't comment on these things, but they felt compelled to do it. The response that they gave to try to exonerate themselves from being part of the initial Russia collusion hoax doesn't really address the actual accusation to begin with. Hans von Spakovsky will get us up to date next.
You got us feeling all right.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
It's time for a big Labor Day sale for my friends at Zero Res. Mark Cox here now through September 1st. Get this Labor Day special, 3 rooms, zero resified for $119, plus they'll throw in a free hallway. And you can get $75 off your air ducts getting clean. Call Zero Res today. Here's the phone number, 314-474-2020. That's 474-2020, and ask for the 97.1 special. Here's the great thing about Zero Res. They can do carpets, tiles, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts. Every surface in your home can be zero resified, so it's time to call my cleaning pros at Zero Res. They can get it done. A 4.9 rating on Google, over 5,800 reviews. Call 314-474-2020 or go to ZeroResSTL.com. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same, Zero Res.
Let's just face it, right? Your home should work for you, not against you. Hi, it's Kim, and if you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, bathroom, or a finished basement, now's the time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. They're St. Louis's trusted experts in turning houses into dream homes. Just imagine this, a spa-like bathroom, maybe a chef-inspired kitchen, or how about a cozy basement perfect for some movie nights? Their team handles everything from design to installation, so you can just sit back and enjoy the process. Visit lakesideRD.com today to start your dream renovation.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us on a Thursday afternoon. The YouTube live chat poll. Do you pray? Yes or no? Go vote. Let's get to our guests.
We the people of the United States
More perfect.
You're a form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Hans, welcome back to the show. Hope you're having a great, I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but we are getting a touch of the cooler weather here in St. Louis.
Well, I'm glad you're doing that. It's actually very nice in the D.C. area, too. But mainly probably that's because Congress is out of town, though.
The forecast is looking up. Hans, I want to ask you, since you are there in the D.C. area, we're hearing tons of good press on Donald Trump's effort to clean up the crime problem there in Washington, D.C., so much so that Mayor Bowser has come out and said very complimentary things about some of the numbers, the statistics. I want to know what your thoughts are on the president's willingness to use the powers that he has with this territory, it being a district there, and he having the power as the executive, the president, to do what he did and the results that you've seen.
Well, the results have been, frankly, terrific. Keep in mind that the city of D.C. had one of the highest carjacking rates in the country, violent carjackings, terrible other crime problems, and the fourth highest murder rate of any city in the country. By the middle of this year, we'd already had 100 murders in this city. I mean, it was just terrible. And ever since federal law enforcement has been sent in, the National Guard has been sent in, those numbers have all dropped dramatically. And, you know, we went through basically there was a murder almost every other day here. There hadn't been a murder since he put those forces in, and all of these other crime rates, like I said, have dropped dramatically. It's like carjackings went down, the carjacking rate went down by three-quarters. Three-quarters of the rate. And, you know, I just have to laugh when I see the protesters. The few protesters you've seen, all look like white, rich liberals who live in nice neighborhoods with big walls around their house.
One of the cast members here on this show labeled them the Meemaws. And I have hesitated saying that on the air because I know there are some really patriot-loving grandmas out there listening to us right now that probably go by Meemaw, but it is always the same people who we see. They kind of have the time, maybe the resources to just spend their time protesting these things. The details of these protests can change, but it's always the same people.
Well, yeah, and no, it's a lot of them are getting paid to do this. There's a guy, an executive who runs this big operation. He provides paid protesters. Actually, he'll provide them for anybody. And he was recently interviewed and said that he's doing a booming business providing paid protesters for the protests that you are seeing. I just don't. It has to be people who are paid. Why would anybody, other than criminals and people who support the gangs that have been roaming in D.C., why would anybody otherwise be against an increased police presence in the District of Columbia?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to us. We kind of had that discussion yesterday. Like, when you see a police officer, do you automatically recoil in fear? That's not our experience. We're excited to see them.
No.
If they're patrolling, you think, okay, looks like they got it under control. Talk to me about what you want to see. The president has said that he's willing to export this plan to restore law and order to other cities across the country. We're sitting here in St. Louis, Missouri right now. I live across the river in Illinois, and of course, Chicago is kind of ground zero for the opposition to that. What kind of powers and authority does President Trump have to export law and order into these cities, whether those governors or mayors want it or not?
Well, that's the problem. He doesn't have the power over other cities throughout the country like Chicago that he has over the District of Columbia, which is a federal district under the control, ultimately, of Congress. Now, look, there are even red states with Republican governors who have problems in their cities, and obviously, as you know, Missouri is one of them. There are terrible crime problems in St. Louis. what could happen in a state like that is if the governors there have control over the National Guard, they are the ones that could invite the National Guard, call up the National Guard, and invite federal law enforcement in. But that's going to take, for example, in Missouri, that would take the governor's office to do that. That's much more problematic in Illinois because we know they're not going to do that. The only way the president could do anything about that is if there are federal laws being broken in the city, then, yeah, you can increase the presence of FBI agents, drug enforcement agents, ICE agents, et cetera. But it takes what's called a federal nexus to do that.
Well, it certainly is a political battle right now. We'll wait and see if there are actions taken on it as well. Fox News came out with an article today. The headline is, "What did Obama know about the Trump-Russia probe, and when did he know it?" Brooke Singman writes that article there. But it looks as though the office of former President Barack Obama has responded to some of the allegations, suggesting that he kind of headed up the whole thing. At this point in time, we're getting to almost be in September of 2025. How serious are things getting surrounding allegations regarding what Barack Obama's role was in trying to smear, besmirch, and frame Donald Trump?
Oh, I think it's pretty clear that he directed it. I mean, he was look, they had a briefing at the White House about this in which the key people who were carrying this out, from the head of the FBI to the National Intelligence Director, they all came and they briefed Clinton on what they were doing. And in fact, they briefed him on the fact that it was Hillary Clinton and her campaign's plan to make up this hoax that would tie Trump to the Russians. Now, Obama was a hands-on guy. You look at the memoirs that have been written, you look at all the reports from insiders apart from this, and they all say that Obama was a hands-on president. He wanted to know what was going on throughout his administration. He was in many ways a micromanager. So is there anybody who thinks that this plan that was put in operation was put in without his approval and direction of it? Oh, come on.
Hans, this is Ryan Wiggins. There's a chorus of people anytime we talk about this subject who say, yeah, but justice will never be served. Nothing ever happens to the powerful. So my question for you is, when do we start to see something with this? Because we saw media with it. Tulsi was out there doing a lot of media. Kash Patel did a little bit, and now it's been quiet. So what's the timeline?
Well, look, things have already happened. And if you doubt that, the Washington Post just had an op-ed complaining. It was an opinion piece complaining about the fact that one of the top Russia CIA analysts not only had her security clearance pulled the last couple of days, but was fired. And why was she fired? Well, because of her involvement in the Russian Trump collusion hoax. There are people throughout the federal government, particularly in the intelligence agency and the FBI, who have been fired, and people outside of the agency, people who left, all of whom have had their security clearances pulled. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but for D.C. is a company town. You either work for the government or you work for a contractor who works for the government. And all these intelligence specialists who, for example, have lost their security clearances, they aren't going to be able to work because without that, they can't get jobs. So, yeah, that's not the same as a criminal prosecution, but apparently a grand jury is being formed to investigate that.
Hans, where are you on the presidential immunity question for Barack Obama? Is some of this outside of the jurisdiction of president, and therefore you could see him have some comeuppance for this, or is he covered?
Well, it would be very tough to prosecute him. What the Supreme Court said in the U.S. v. Trump case is that Presidents are immune from criminal prosecution for official acts they take within their duty. You would therefore have to argue to a judge that when Obama was directing the FBI and the intelligence agencies to go after Trump, to basically manufacture a hoax, that he was acting outside of his official duties. Only if judges bought that argument would they allow a criminal prosecution to go forward. And I think that would be and no matter how bad Obama's behavior, I think that would be an uphill battle.
So just to clarify, Hans, is anybody going to jail?
I don't know. I think we have to wait and see what the grand jury does with all of this. And remember, Pam Bondi has said they're forming a grand jury to look at the behavior of James Comey and others.
All right. Well, we will stay tuned. Hans, we always appreciate you here. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's all anybody wants to know, isn't it?
And how soon?
Yeah.
What's the timeline?
But are they going to jail? If the answer is no, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to jail. I'm here to break this to you folks right now because I wouldn't lie to you. I'd lie to you.
Well, then don't talk to me. Talk to others.
I'm talking the other way. No one's going to go to jail.
You don't think?
No.
I could see somebody within that inner circle going to jail.
Don't think it's happening.
And possibly a name.
Who?
Brennan.
No one's going to jail.
We'll see. Now we're on record.
Gosh dang it. Write that down. That's tomorrow's poll.
Will anybody go to jail?
Will anybody? Just in general.
Ever.
No.
If you're in Illinois, no.
No. Yeah. You might get arrested, but you won't have to go to jail.
Right.
And it won't cost you anything to not go there either. Isn't that amazing? Why wouldn't anybody come to Illinois? Just come to Illinois if you're a non-law-abiding non-citizen.
Yeah. You ever seen Mad Max? That's Illinois 10 years from now.
I have never seen Mad Max. Is that the It's Bait? That's Bait meme?
That's that universe, yeah.
I don't know that
That's a
meme.
universe.
I know the movie.
That's the new one.
Oh, the new movie. Talking about OG.
I'm out of my league. I'm over my skis. Whatever all the other idioms are. Do you pray? Yes or no? That's the YouTube poll. Need to know from you what your thoughts are about this. I kind of started to say this in the last segment here, but in the last couple of years, I would tell people I'd pray for them, and I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't remember to pray for them. If I am messaging somebody and I'm about to type like, I'm going to pray for you, I instead send them a prayer. It's maybe a sentence or two. But I'm doing that for me because I think it's more meaningful and I think it's more effective to like engage in the process. Like saying, it's kind of next level stuff. And I read this. I can't remember who was like, just instead of saying, I'm going to pray for you, pray with them. I encourage you to do that as well. If you know someone who needs prayers, pray with them. It doesn't have to be some sort of like candlelit situation that involves a whole lot. Just pray with them. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Calls her mama, I'm sure all the hand and I'm just around. Yeah.
Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. This is the one where I tell you to call Matt Hayes so he can come look at your crack in your concrete. Gotta listen to the whole thing, folks. 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. Matt Hayes, the owner of Home Shield Foundation Repair, has an enormous set of skills, and he is able to use those skills with his great crew. They're a pretty tight-knit group of people, and they are very good at what they do, so they like working at Home Shield Foundation Repair with people like you. 314-227-9636. Call them and ask them about your uneven concrete. The concrete is cracked. It's become unlevel, and now it's become a safety hazard. You need a solution for it, and you're looking for one that is cost-effective. What is cost-effective these days anyway? Well, making this phone call, that's a cost-effective measure. 314-227-9636. Matt will come out and inspect your situation to determine the repairs that are needed, so you are going in this fully eyes wide open as to what you're looking for. Incredibly more affordable than ripping out and replacing that concrete. Reach out to him and ask him how he can help you. He'll be happy to get your phone call. Tell him Annie sent you. 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Today's question on the YouTube live chat poll has to do with how much you think the United States has pulled in private investment this year. Just kidding. It's a much easier question. Do you pray? Yes or no? YouTube live chat poll. Let us know. I guess that could be construed as a harder question for some, but that's up to you and your interpretation. Do you pray? Let us know today. That's the topic of discussion on the Annie Fry Show. 1238. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
From the gateway to the airwaves. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your then ride it. So gonna get to grabbing. Go pop it for a plan. Pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan. Drop it for me. I'll rent a
I was gonna make a poll question today, since you super complicated the things there.
No, I didn't. I simplified it. I overpromised.
You're just like
and then underdelivered.
This is what the government does. No, you think you underpromised and overdelivered.
Either way, I'm kind of a winner.
This conversation is also an extension of the loser one that you
The
started
loser
earlier.
bracket.
I was going to start, and I didn't know how to summarize this enough, and it was so like it was such a personal question for me right now. But I wanted to know if y'all really think that the weather affects how you feel. I am worried that I need to go find my AARP card right now.
Wait. How you feel
Does
emotionally or physically?
Physically, but maybe emotionally. I'm not
'Cause
talking about like
emotionally-
seasonal affective disorder.
Well, most people would say, yeah, the weather affects me emotionally. But you're saying
I don't think
just physically.
I don't think most people would say that.
Oh, I do. I think that should be a poll question now.
Emotionally?
Yeah, does the weather affect you emotionally? I think most people would say yes. We should poll the room.
Not on a day-to-day basis. Maybe seasonally.
Yeah, but you could
That's
take
a
that
season.
question.
That's
but
not
you
an-
could take
that's
that
not-
question however you want.
I don't think most people wake up and go, "It's raining today. I'm sad."
Oh, I think that maybe you don't say it out loud, but you might feel it.
You've hijacked this whole conversation. I'm done with this. That's my problem. Is I have a raging headache that I've had for a long time. I don't have patience for you today.
That's going to be really unfortunate for me.
But it's okay because I'm blaming it on the weather.
Oh.
Isn't that what? At a certain age, don't you get to do that?
The good thing is
My
I
knees
feel
are creaky.
very
They're
happy
not,
today
but-
because it's so nice out.
That's why I closed the blinds.
I can see that. I can see that.
I didn't close the blinds.
I don't
But we
know.
do close them every day. But I think that I really feel like the cold air coming in, pressure changes in the actual like weather systems are affecting the pressure on my temples and my head.
I've been a little more achy lately, like my joints.
It's from all the weightlifting.
So I
that
wonder
you're
if
doing.
that's what it's
And
either the weightlifting
aerobics.
or the weather.
It's the jazzercise.
No, I don't do jazzercise. I
And
do
the-
Tai Bo.
And the leotards that are way too tight.
I do leotards regardless of working out.
Everybody's talking about it, Ryan.
I know
In the building.
I know they are. That's just part of the cross-eye bear.
That's just part of the cross-eyed bear. I just feel, I don't feel like you asked me, oh, Annie, you're getting sick, aren't you? No, I was just sick. A week
You
or
had
two ago.
laryngitis.
Yeah.
You weren't sick.
Nah, I mean, it kind of turned into feeling a little bit crappy but I could talk then. I felt worse the next week after I got my voice back. But when I had no voice, I felt fine.
And your voice sounds fine right now, but you
Yeah.
are achy.
It's just my head.
Your head.
It's my head. It's like my temples. It's sinus pressure. Like I took medicine before I came in here, and I took like sinus stuff that has Tylenol in it, acetaminophen. So I'm trying to wait like maybe 1 more hour before I hit the Excedrin, but it's not good. I don't like it. But I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do if it's the weather?
That's why I don't think it's just the weather. I think that you have more than just the weather going on.
What do you think I have going on?
I think you got a touch of something.
What is it? Where did I get it from?
The vapors.
Gosh.
You're getting all fluttery.
Listen, I'm going to back Annie up
It's
here.
not the leotards. Don't be confused about that.
The weather definitely gives
Everybody
me
else
headaches.
is getting it from the leotard.
It definitely gives me headaches. And since I've had knee surgeries, it definitely affects my knees. My knees hurt whenever any type of pressure change in the system
Oh, I'm
happens.
not arguing that pressure can do that.
You're you're just
You
arguing.
just seem like you're beyond that.
But here's the thing. I have the same symptoms that she does, but you don't always tell me, oh, you're getting sick.
Because your headache isn't that bad.
Ryan doesn't always sell. This is the first time we've ever had this conversation.
Yeah, it's not. Like, oh, here she goes again.
Yeah,
She's
give me
getting
a
sick
break
again.
here. I'm not always.
Put me on.
Yeah, MAGA AF said Annie preparing for a sick day. No, I'm not calling out. And listen, I would have been here the other day if I would have had the only thing I need to have to do this job, which was a voice.
Mm-hmm. You know, it does help to be able to see. Like if you had lost your sight, it would be harder to do your job.
I could still talk.
You could still talk though. We would have no visual cues between us though.
I'd be giving you visual cues.
You just be sticking your tongue out and stuff.
I don't know if that's what it would be.
Making noises. I'd have to do that for you.
Somebody
because you
said,
couldn't see me.
Jackie, I think it was, said that it sounds like allergies. This allergies is a weird thing. I've heard that you can develop that your susceptibility to allergies can change over the course of your life. I think I had really bad allergies when I was pregnant, but I've never been really allergic to anything. I've never gone through seasonal things that, like every time pollen comes around. I don't even know when pollen season is. I know that it's real because my husband has it significantly. But I don't deal. I've not dealt with that. So if I actually got into a time in my life where all of a sudden I did have like an allergy susceptibility, I don't think I would know it.
You know what else changes? Your taste buds. Every 7 years. When was the last time you tried sushi?
I'm not trying sushi.
When was the last time you tried it?
I've never had it.
Well, maybe you'd love it.
I don't want it.
Maybe you would have loved it
I
7 years ago and you'd hate it now.
I don't want parasites.
You know what I find out that I like now? Beets. 7 years ago, don't think I loved them.
Ryan, my propensity to want to try new things is always going to be zero. I like what I like, and I'm good with that. What's wrong with that?
What if in 7 years you find out, oh my gosh, I hate chicken fingers now? What are you going to do?
I won't eat a chicken. If I'm eating chicken fingers and I get a chicken finger and it's got one of those stringy things in it that's like connected and it bounces back.
It's a sinew. Don't eat the sinews.
Oh.
You just let those kind of hang.
Oh.
Let
Shame on you.
If you get one of those, you got to yell out, "We got a dangler!"
Shame on you.
And then nobody touch this one.
It's the worst when it snaps back and hits you in the lip.
Yep.
Fine.
Yep.
I quit. I'm going to get my Excedrin. You guys take it out of here.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Wiggins America coming up next. We got a great topic for you. Hey, no. My headphones are attached to that chair. We got a great topic for you. Kevin O'Leary shares 5 pieces of blunt life advice, and these are mostly for Annie.
Mark Cox, 97.1 FM Talk.
Here we are, 11 years later, and the lies continue about why Mike Brown died that day.
The Mark Cox Morning Show, weekdays from 5 to 9, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody.
All right, I'm a prayer. I'm a prayer for less headache. That's
All
the
right,
goal.
we will pray for your headache to go away.
Do you pray, yes or no? Annie Fry YouTube channel. Did you feel like people were getting a little too hot and bothered about, like, there wasn't even time for people to offer thoughts and prayers yesterday before people were like, oh, prayers?
Oh,
You
man.
want to talk prayers?
That mayor, that was the first thing he
Mayor
got up there
Frey?
and did in Minneapolis, is he's like, oh, I've been waiting for this moment. I freaking hate prayer. Let's talk about this. And the thing I hate, too, is that he says, it's time to just get away with this stuff about prayer and thoughts and just dismiss it as if, A, prayer does nothing, which if you don't believe in God, I guess you would believe that prayer does nothing. But second, that people who pray also do nothing. That if you pray, that means you're out. I'm out. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. I'm just
Ironic,
praying.
too, that the people who he's generally talking to are like his constituents. It's people like us who are just sitting here watching this unfold. Do you know what we can do? We can pray. He's actually in a position of authority. This is his neighborhood. They've defunded the police. They have a very, very, very far leftist, stacked on stacked government structure there. You guys are the ones who can do something. So if you want to start shaking fists at the sky, like, what kind of gun control do you have in Minneapolis? What kind of gun control do you have in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Look into the laws that you've already implemented and just let me know if any of your laws to try to stop these things from happening, stop this guy from being an outraged, crazy man who sought and fantasized by what he actually carried out. Like, how's that working for you? You're the one who can actually, air quotes, do something. I will sit here, I will fall on my knees and pray to God that this never happens again and pray for those families and those lost souls. I will spend my time doing that. You shut that hole in your face and go do something if you want to talk about the people who can do something. That's on you, buddy. You're an elected official. Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Oh, also, it's a Christian community. Let me come out and tell everybody how much I hate prayer.
Yeah.
You
To
just
the
got
Catholics.
shot. Yeah, thank you.
Like the biggest middle finger he could have mustered.
Even
That's the first bullet he fired, no pun intended.
Even if you don't believe in it at all, have a little sensitivity to the people who do, who just got shot at.
Here's a comparison. You remember the Pulse nightclub shooting where it was a LGBT club or whatever? Can you imagine utilizing what people were there celebrating, engaging in a lifestyle there? If that was tied in any sort of way as some, like, oh, you're going to come here and celebrate this now? You're going to like, what are you doing? The shoe never fits on the other.
No,
foot.
never.
Ever.
Never. All right, these are 5 points of life advice from Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary.
Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful.
How did he get that name?
I think he was just terrific.
I don't think he was terrific.
Actually, no, he probably wasn't very
He was
terrific.
probably
He would have been
wonderful.
called Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe
uncomfortable.
Maybe he workshopped that one first and was like, I don't know, it just doesn't.
Let's take this to the focus group.
Yeah.
Number 1, think before you spend. Stop buying expensive coffees. Don't pay $40 for lunch. Make these things yourself.
The coffee thing is an interesting one because I am definitely egregiously not following that advice because I get coffee every day from Scooters. But it is my breakfast. It brings me great joy. I can't do this
That's
show.
what my wife says too.
I can't, like, it's $8 a day or whatever it is. And I know that's a lot. I get it. I could have this argument and know the whole time I was having this argument that on his terms, I'm going to lose. But I sacrifice in a host of other ways that I feel like I'm entitled to my $8 coffee.
I would agree with that and disagree with it. I mean, the general advice he's giving here, think before you spend, that's very good. In fact, I said this yesterday on the show. We've been having this conversation. You know, my daughter, she likes to spend money. So I've been saying, honey, you got to teach yourself to say no to yourself. You can't just always say yes. And that's easier when you're a kid because other people are also telling you no.
And all your needs are met.
Yeah. But it's a good practice to get into. I think that's kind of what he's saying here. Think before you spend. He also says, look in your closet at all the clothes you don't wear. It's all stuff you don't need, and that stuff could have been earning you market returns. So you know where he's coming from.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. I get it. He's not wrong. There are a lot of other things that I don't go get my nails done. I don't get my hair done. I haven't colored my hair since 2017. I don't even cut it. You cut it.
I do cut it.
I haven't had my hair cut since you cut my hair.
I've been trying to convince you to get your hair tall, check your nails, but I would do it all for you.
Those aren't the right words.
And then I'd ask you, Annie, how you feeling? And you'd say,
I'm feeling good as heck.
next. And the question today, do you pray?
Some people are like, I knew I was in the right place.
We're your people. We're your people.
And other people are like, why was she singing?
If you got all the references in that 60 seconds, you know you're in the right place. All right. The second one, he says, Mr. O'Leary, Kevin O'Leary, says, focus on 3 things you need to get done each day.
Gosh.
Beyond that, you're going to overwhelm yourself.
Do you would you say that I'm somebody who has my life together? Like I have it together?
This seems like a trick question. Yes.
Do I look fat?
No.
You're nuts. You got to say it faster than that. Too many O's in that no.
No.
I mean, I really do have it together. If I would have gone back to like 18-year-old Annie graduating high school, going to college, thinking I wanted to be a sports reporter on television, and I would have found out that this was my life at 41, I'd have fallen over excited over what I'm doing right now. But I listen to these things. It's such great advice. I watch YouTube videos. I was watching Tony Robbins last night. Have a conversation with Theo Vaughn just to even things out. It was wonderful.
Oh, weird.
But I like to soak this stuff in. I like to learn. I like to master things. And I feel like what I've mastered is chaos. But it's still chaos that I'm mastering. There's no zen. But I don't know at 41 years old with 4 kids, 2 employed parents in a house, is this as good as it gets? Or I'm always looking to level up. And I feel like I've got my hands pretty firm at 10 and 2, but only on directing the chaos.
I'm going to skip to the end here just because I think this one's going to really light your hair on fire.
How many more do you just...
There's a couple. Children need to leave the nest, he says. Shoot. Now, we're not there yet, but he says...
Real close.
The curse of entitlement is that kids end up basically leeching off of you for way too long and they don't make anything of themselves.
So my kids' high school, I was told a story yesterday that a senior at this high school graduated with 27 college credits from high school. And I looked at my husband, I go, I think that's the college we're paying for. Because that individual got out of their senior year of high school with, generally speaking, about 15 credits as a semester. I took 12 many semesters as well, but I took a couple summer classes here and there. I think I'm going to provide my kids a place to stay if they want to stay at home, but they're going to have to get jobs. And I think they're going to have to pay for their own college education because they should be able to have the grades to earn it. Plus, I think in the state of Illinois, it's like a 3.5 or something like that GPA. There's something out there about junior college that you can take gen eds for free.
No kidding.
I think so. I've been told that. I need to look into it. But providing a place for them to stay and the freedom to be an adult, it has to come along with meeting some of your own responsibilities as well. And one of those might be you can stay here at home, but you're going to have to pay for your own college. But I don't want them staying at my house until they're I'm handing them over.
But you never want them to leave.
Well, no, I don't ever want to leave. I'm their mother, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to have to deal with it. Let's talk to Trey Gowdy next.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
KFTK FM Florissant.
An Odyssey station.
A message on crime from the White House. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This is our message to Americans in Democrat-run cities nationwide.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt.
Decline is a choice. You don't have to live in constant fear of being robbed, raped, or murdered.
As the president continues to face pushback from some Democratic mayors and governors over possibly expanding a federal crime crackdown in D.C. to other cities. Leavitt also suggesting that residents and crime rates contradict the Illinois governor's insistence that Chicago does not need federal intervention. New patrols in Minneapolis as the Minnesota governor, Tim Walz, deploys state resources to help boost public safety around schools and places of worship after yesterday's church shooting that left 2 Catholic school students dead, ages 8 and 10. Officials just confirming that another child was hurt, which makes 15 children injured in all, along with 3 elderly parishioners.
We currently have 9 patients that were involved in the shooting yesterday. 6 of those patients are in satisfactory condition. 5 of those patients are children. We have 2 patients in serious condition, 1 adult and 1 child. And we have 1 child in critical condition presently.
That's Hennepin Healthcare CEO Dr. Tom Clemon. The FBI is investigating the attack as a possible hate crime and act of domestic terrorism. The shooter committed suicide. The White House just defending the firing of the CDC director.
What I will say about this individual is that her lawyer's statement made it abundantly clear themselves that she was not aligned with the president's mission to make America healthy again. And the secretary asked her to resign. She said she would, and then she said she wouldn't, so the president fired her, which he has every right to do.
Lawyers for Susan Menares challenge whether she's actually been fired. She's vowed to stay on the job. America is listening to Fox News.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our temperatures will be slightly warmer this afternoon, but the humidity levels are still comfortable. Let's call it 84 today, partly sunny skies. Maybe a pop shower, mainly off to our south and southwest. Clear skies tonight, 61. Friday, sunny and 82. Keep it going for the long holiday weekend. Saturday, sunny and 80. Sunday, sunny, 79. Monday, sunny, 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
23-year-old Robin Westman was able to leave what police called a video manifesto that they're now going through to try and establish motive. We've also been going through it and can tell you there are crude diagrams of the church. There are also photos of the weapons, and they include all sorts of writings, the names of past mass shooters, criticism of Israel, the name of President Trump written on the guns. There are also racial slurs, nihilistic statements, all painting the picture of a disturbed individual who carried out this mass shooting on the first week of school at the Annunciation Church in Minneapolis.
ABC News reporting on the awful tragedy that took place yesterday morning in Minneapolis, and listening to the backstory of this evil shooter is even more disturbing than thinking about the absolute sadness that came out of Minneapolis and that church yesterday. I want to get to our guest here. Trey Gowdy joins us, host of Sunday Night in America on Fox. He's a former congressman, prosecutor, and has a new book out called The Color of Death. Trey Gowdy, thank you so much for being with us today. It's an honor to have you on the show.
It's an honor to be with you, and I am heartbroken, as I know you are, about the subject matter.
You know, I was listening yesterday to Outnumbered as you were part of that panel, and really the first feedback from the news media that I was able to take in was the discussion that you had there on the couch on Outnumbered. And you said something that was, I was so grateful. I know where I was driving when I heard you say this. And you were talking about people who are going to try to find some sense, try to explain what happened yesterday. And I wanted to give you the opportunity, as somebody who has been a prosecutor who's seen and witnessed unspeakable things in the courtroom. You see something like this happens. What is your advice to Americans who are trying to understand what took place yesterday morning?
Well, rational people ask why. I mean, that's what makes us rational. We want to know why. But there is no why. I mean, so you have a manifesto, you have writings, sometimes there are notes leaving left, but it doesn't get you any. There is nothing that explains killing the most innocent among us. There is nothing that explains Sandy Hook or yesterday or Uvalde, Texas. I mean, so if you were to learn that he had been bullied, or if you learned that he, I think he transgendered, so not trying to misgender someone. I think he was a biological male that wanted to be a female. So bullied. Felt ostracized by the church. Okay, so if you know that, is the next logical step to go shoot people who have done absolutely nothing to you? So the why we are wired to want to know. But trust me, having done it for nearly 2 decades, you are left just as empty once you know the why.
Trey Gowdy speaking with us right now. I've heard you speak here in St. Louis. You came and spoke on behalf of the Vitae Foundation, and you make an incredible case for life. And we're in a culture right now where I think it's up in the air whether or not we truly do value life in our, secular culture. One of the things that I noticed immediately from the mayor of Minneapolis come out, he seemed to be very aggressively against people saying that they would pray. When you've seen what you've seen, witnessed what you've witnessed, and you see these types of tragedies repeat themselves, and you hear thoughts and prayers, you're a man of the law, and you've prosecuted crime, so you know what really goes on that a lot of us on the outside wouldn't necessarily know those details. Where's prayer factor in for you?
I think it is the most callous thing in the world, even if you are not a spiritual person, even if you have no faith whatsoever. It is so callous to try to tell grieving parents that there will be no reunification with your lost children. Even if you don't believe it, keep your mouth shut, because there are people who do. And that is the only hope that will sustain parents who have lost a child is, number one, a belief that they are with the person that created those children. And Jesus, you're welcome to accept his teachings, reject them. I mean, you do what you want. But he spent a long time singling out children for special treatment. So why would you rob parents who are in the darkest valley you can possibly be in by minimizing their faith? You don't have to share their faith. And look, I also talked about gun control. I was a gun prosecutor. Every form of gun control you can conjure, I prosecuted that case. But when you get to murder, murder is not a form of gun control. Murder, something has already gone wrong. The goal is to prevent the murder. Keep the firearms out of the hands. All 3 of these guns were purchased lawfully. So clearly, I don't think anyone is arguing, well, let's go through that again tomorrow. Let's go through what we went through yesterday again tomorrow. If the guns were purchased lawfully and the law currently does not stop this from happening, what's wrong with exploring this balance between freedom and public safety? And I defy anyone to find me a right that matters if you are dead. I mean, what right matters if you are dead? So, look, you don't have to pray. You don't have to believe in any of that. But do not rob the parents of their belief that they will be reunited or that their children are in the presence of the one person who singled out children for special status.
Trey Gowdy speaking with us right now. Of course, you know him as the host of Sunday Night in America on Fox. He's a former congressman, prosecutor as well, author of his book we're going to talk about here in a minute called The Color of Death. You were somebody who had great success in politics, and my recollection is that you chose to exit politics, which a lot of times that's not the way that ends up going for people who are in the business. How do you juggle a tragedy like this in your mind? So you've been in the media, you've been in the courtroom, and you've been in Congress. What's the appropriate way to react? You're talking about gun control. Half the people listening right now are going to say, ooh, I want to know more about that. You say gun control, that's like a 4-letter word to other people. What's the proper ethical way to address what needs to happen next in the midst of a tragedy like this?
Well, number one, take a step back and understand that we already have gun control. There are controls on who can have guns, where you can have them, and what kind of guns you can have. So the notion that this is somehow a debate about gun control, there are scores of federal statutes that prohibit people from possessing guns. And it's not lost on me. President Trump sent the National Guard into D.C., and one of the stats they are collecting is the number of guns that have been confiscated. So for all the folks out there that are absolutists when it comes to the Second Amendment, why in the world is President Trump confiscating guns, and why are we keeping track of it if the Second Amendment has no limitations? I mean, we've had gun control laws since the inception of our republic, to be candid with you. So the question then becomes, are those laws sufficient? Can we do something to prevent the next mass shooting at the softest target of all, which is a church or a school? Or are we just going to say that's the price we pay for living in a free society? And I, for one, and I know that there was criticism yesterday, and I also know that I don't care. And I say I don't care. I don't want to see any more small caskets. And if there's something I can do, how long did I wait in line at TSA to board a plane? You know why I did that? Because I'm willing to spare a little bit of extra time to keep another plane from being used as a target. So I have to pass a driver's test. You think I bemoan that? No, I'm happy to pass a driver's test because I don't want to be a risk to other people. But yet somehow when it comes to protecting schools, protecting churches, protecting children, there are absolutists out there that say any infringement whatsoever we're not willing to do. I am willing to explore any idea that passes constitutional muster that keeps children alive. You have to track the shooter and you have to track the weapon. And so when you track the weapon here, it was lawfully purchased. That leaves the shooter. What was in this shooter's background? Who around the shooter knew or should have known that something was up, which then brings up red flag laws. And I get the debate around it, but we have to have a civil conversation, which usually means without social media, because social media, there's a reason I'm not on it. I mean, the courtroom would laugh at social media. There's no cross-examination. There are no evidentiary rules. There's no requirement that you prove what you just asserted. I mean, it is, you can hide behind anonymity, which you can't do in court. So all the reasons I like court are why I don't like social media. If you have an idea for how to keep children from winding up in morgues, I want to hear it. But if your idea is this is just the price we pay for living in a free society, I refuse to accept that.
Trey Gowdy speaking with us right now. Before we get to your book, I wanted to ask you about how the assessment of mental health and what we do as a society with those deemed so mentally unhealthy that they cause society to be in danger. Are we doing enough in research on that element of these types of consistencies we see from shooting to shooting? There seems to be a severe deficiency in the mental health of these people who are willing to do such heinous things.
No, mental health is at the core of almost all of us. You or I have never once thought about taking the life of someone, and never would, unless our own lives were in danger or the lives of someone else. We would never, ever take someone's life absent those two contingencies. And it was the late, great Dr. Charles Krauthammer, who is somebody that I highly respected and was a psychiatrist, that said we made a huge mistake by saying that we could kind of re-socialize or repopulate people who are suffering from debilitating mental illness. And I'm not talking about all forms of mental illness. There are plenty of people who function clearly within the confines of the law and would never hurt anyone, but they happen to suffer from some mental diagnosis. But I am talking about people that have no business having a pair of scissors or a plastic fork, much less a gun. And so that brings up red flag laws, and I am all for the due process. I don't think somebody ought to call the cops and then the cops come take your firearms just because you're mad at them. You are entitled to due process. But let me ask you, if we could go back in time and we could put this person yesterday, whose name I will not call, but if we could put this person in front of a judge and remove those firearms from them, I want to hear the case from people who say, no, I wouldn't do it. I'll go ahead and let this biological male who transitioned to a female in his mind go ahead and have 3 guns and shoot through windows and execute the most innocent among us. Go ahead. I am willing to allow him to have firearms. I can't wait to hear that argument.
Yeah, I mean, the willingness to have the conversation, that's the necessity. If the argument is there, somebody needs to make it. I think that's what you're saying here as well. Trey Gowdy speaking with us right now, host of Sunday Night in America on Fox News, former congressman and prosecutor. You've got a new book coming out, or it's out, The Color of Death. I want to talk to you about that because this is a fiction, from what I understand. Trey, I read your last book, I believe it was, Start, Stay, or Leave, The Art of Decision Making. I listened to the audiobook and I was compelled by that. because I think decision making, when people freeze, that's when things don't move forward in their lives. So I encourage people to check that book out. I haven't read The Color of Death yet, but you've moved into fiction. You've written this book with Christopher Grayson. What are readers going to get if they are to purchase The Color of Death and listen to your story?
A front row seat, what it's really like. I mean, the miniseries don't get it right. They're entertaining, but they're not right. Movies don't get it right. Television shows don't get it right. I would struggle to think of a significant crime scene where I was not there the night of the crime. So television and the media portrays the lawyers are showing up on the morning of jury selection, looking at a file, and kind of going and dealing with the judge and the jury. And that is not real life. We are there the night the crime takes place because we're the ones in the final analysis. The goal is not an arrest. I get so frustrated when I hear we've made an arrest in a certain case. Okay, great. We're about a third of the way there. The goal is a conviction, and that's a much higher level of proof. So how do you get from arrest to conviction? It's the prosecutor and the cops working hand in hand that get you there. So if I'm the last one that has to stand in front of 12 of my fellow citizens and persuade them beyond a reasonable doubt, why would you not want me involved from day one? And the good investigators do want you there. And that was my experience. So in a fictional way, because I don't like true crime, what happened yesterday not only breaks my heart, it adversely impacts my faith. Because it's real. It is not fictional. I didn't want to write true crime. I lived true crime. I don't want to write it. So the grief is real. The interactions are real, but I wanted a manufactured fact pattern because it is soul robbing to have to live with this for decade after decade. You just do not emerge unscathed. So I wanted an easy way to explain this is the way the highs, the lows, the setbacks, the depression. I mean, I had a case, this was actually modeled after a case. I mean, I changed a lot of the facts, but the backbone of this book was a case I actually prosecuted that went unsolved for a decade. For a decade, I had to look at the parents and the children of this owner of a beauty salon and say, we haven't caught the culprit yet. But also remember the day the sheriff called me and said, I think we have a suspect. And then I remember dedicating the next year of my life to making sure that we got from arrest to conviction. And everything goes on hold. It consumes you. There is no separating family from work. It is obsessive because I wanted to do a good job for a young woman who could not stand up for herself. And the jury wound up being out 14 minutes in that case. So 10 years to solve it, 14 minutes to get a verdict. He's serving life without parole. And I want the reader to know what it is really like. Television doesn't get it right, but the book does.
The book is The Color of Death by Trey Gowdy and Christopher Grayson, and the humanity that has to exist on all fronts for something like this. I was listening to the report from the hospital yesterday and listening to the spokesperson talk about having to triage and treat these children. And a reporter asked him, like, are you guys okay? And I can imagine for a prosecutor who's having for a decade, you know, at some point you have to say, are you okay too? And I guess this is the story.
We're not okay. We're not okay. And that is what I tell young lawyers who want to go into prosecution. I tell them it will be the most rewarding job you ever have, but you may lose your soul. And the truth is, I did not run for Congress. I ran from the courtroom because I could not keep doing it. I could not keep seeing. I had 3 children under the age of 11 murdered in the course of 6 days. And you want a test of faith? You want to sit there and cry out to God, how can you let this happen? Then have 3 children murdered under the age of 11 in less than a week. And so my wife and my mom sat me down and said, you've got to go do something else. The question was what? So I needed an honorable exit, and I thought it was Congress. But the truth is, I am always and will always be a prosecutor at heart. I get more passionate about that than I do anything else. I just could not sustain it because it is all I lived. I could not separate my home life from my work life.
Well, you're a fantastic writer. I can attest to that from your previous books. And I want to encourage people, if they want to learn more about this story, it's The Color of Death, written by Trey Gowdy and Christopher Grayson. Thank you so much for sharing this story with us and your insight on the latest news. It's tragic, and your perspective is incredibly valuable. We appreciate it here.
Well, thank you for your fantastic questions. You would have made a really, really good lawyer yourself because you asked really good questions.
Well, I will take that compliment from you, Trey Gowdy. Thank you. Well, we'd love to have you back again sometime.
I would love that. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Ooh, man. Trey Gowdy is kind of a it's funny because he's saying it in this interview. He's like, I know I ticked a lot of people off yesterday. Oh, and I don't care. Which, whether you agree with him or you disagree with him, I respect that he's willing to say things and mean things that aren't immediately affected by your opinion of it or my opinion of it. More of that, please. More of that. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Please consider our friends that the Matt Hayes family, who own and operate Home Shield Foundation Repair. When you shop with people locally for the services that you need, and they're kind of part of the 97.1 Annie Fry Show family, that's always kind of fun. It's nice to meet new people. As soon as you meet Matt Hayes, you're going to be like, I can tell you're one of us. And that's a pretty cool thing because you can trust him to come out and do great work at your home, at work. For the sidewalk that's outside, you need to make sure that nobody's tripping over it. You're tired of tripping over it. You don't want to trip over it either. Those safety hazards, they get in the way, and it's going to be much more costly if you have a liability problem than it is just to get some polyjacking taking place out there on that uneven concrete where polyurethane foam gets injected under the concrete, raises it up, levels it out, and Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair backs it up with a 5-year warranty. Call him directly at 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. That's the number to reach Matt Hayes directly. Invite him out. He'll inspect your situation and let you know what you are looking at. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com, and then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
With conviction and clarity, The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back. YouTube poll. We want to know if you pray. Yes or no. One of the things Trey Gowdy just said in that interview was calling out. I mean, I teed up Mayor Fry, Jacob Fry, in Minneapolis, and kind of talked about how offensive it was for him to come out. Like, of all of the things that you're going to attack when you get the opportunity to go speak in front of the press yesterday at 11 a.m., the thoughts and prayers suggestion that people are going to say, like, people hadn't even really had an opportunity to offer thoughts and prayers yet, and you're already smacking them around. Trey takes it one step further in the way he speaks about that, which is to say, how dare he criticize the only hope that those parents have left of seeing their children again? Mm-hmm. Phrasing. Trey Gowdy nails it again. What do you think about his comments about, he said yesterday something to the effect of he connected young white males are the ones perpetrating these crimes, these school shootings, and their ability to get guns. And then he said the gun control phrase.
I saw it. I also like Trey Gowdy enough that I think he kind of knows what he's talking about. Gave him a pass. The fact is, this was a young white male. The media will gloss over the fact that it was because they don't want to call him a male. They don't know what to do with this. So it's a weird subject because no matter which angle you take on it, you've got these like preconceived notions already built into it. But ultimately, I've seen people on the right and the left both address this issue, that what's happened to our men? What's happened to young men? We've alienated young men, and we've turned them into this other thing that feels like they're on the outside of society. And not that that means every single one of us has become a shooter, but there is a pattern here.
I think if you look at what is unfolding, if you're trying to connect the dots from shooting to shooting to shooting to shooting that we've had right now, there is a consistency among not all, I don't know, I can't say that with certainty, but with a vast majority of them, that there is a significant mental health crisis happening in these individuals. I don't know that the person could be white, the person could be black, the person could be male, female, cisgender, transgender, gender non-binary, or whatever. Like, you could throw all of those things out. I don't know how you would, like, the one thing they all have put together when they're willing to go perpetuate this type of crime is that they are mentally unhealthy. I think by virtue of what they're doing, there's no, again, to Trey Gowdy's point, there's no sense of any of this. You can't rationalize any of this. There's no thing that and we talked about this yesterday, there's no thing you're going to find out about the shooter yesterday that's going to make you go, oh, well, now that we know that, there's no thing that's going to come out that's going to, the word that Gowdy just used was like, you're not going to go from that detail to the next dot and be like, I guess what you do is you shoot up a church full of kids. That doesn't exist. And of course, we as rational, normal human beings are seeking out an explanation that fits into our brain because we don't have one, because there isn't one. You can't say gun control without ripping an exposed nerve out of a lot of conservatives, spine. And the visceral reaction to that, and I understand kind of why, because it's the number one thing that they keep trying to do is grab the guns. And the fear of a government who's able to grab the guns is the obvious next domino to fall, which, when you have a socialistic government or a communist worshiping government and an unarmed people, well, that's that. That's the end of that. So I get that. I get the understanding of Second Amendment issues. But what I don't understand is why we aren't more focused on assessing mental health and determining what is mentally healthy and what's not mentally healthy. There are obvious flags that exist that show that somebody isn't mentally stable. And, you'd have to define some things to be right and some things to be wrong. If you don't want to use those words, you'd have to define some things to be normal and some things to be abnormal. And we have been living in 15 years of, no. How dare you say the N-word, which is normal, because that's a mean word to say to people, because who are you to determine what normal is?
Yeah, we can't determine the difference between right and wrong. I mean, that's ultimately what's going on here. And so anything that you do, we say, oh, well, you do you, because whatever, I've heard this phrase many times. I've heard it even from people that are very close to me. Well, whatever makes you happy. Well, that's a terrible philosophy, because whatever makes you happy in the moment may be terrible for you. And we are not willing to say that to somebody.
Ender says, let's play a game. You know for certain that a person is going to pew a place of education. Do you, number one, take away the firearm and no other action? Or number two, arrest and put away the person? Like, that's the question that I have. Why are these people, you will also take away their ability to have a firearm if you put them away. And that, were there flags? I had an article open here. I wonder if I still have it because I've clicked on a billion things so far to the show. Like, were there red flags surrounding this guy that makes other people, like, whenever these things happen, what phrase makes you the most crazy? Is it they were on our radar? Because we hear that quite a bit. Is there a way to report people for having obvious mental illness and to do that in a way that doesn't infringe on that other person's rights? I don't have the answers, people, but I think we can all point to the problem, and we should all be willing to entertain every conversation that seeks to solve the actual problem. I don't believe that, I don't know. Do you have the clip from CNN talking about these guns? I didn't send it to you. There was a conversation between a couple people on CNN yesterday, and they were talking about the guns. And they said they were listing, like, a reported to have a semi-automatic rifle. And the quote that they said is, which we all know, is it fires like 12 or 13 bullets with one trigger pull. That is just like the most basic understanding of guns. You should not be on CNN saying semi-automatics fire 17 bullets with one trigger pull. That's not legal. That's not what semi-automatic is. And you should not be in a position to be talking about those things on CNN when you don't understand that. I don't trust the people who are in a position of influence or power to be able to intelligently discuss these things to where if you actually implemented what they begged for us to implement, that it would actually solve any of the problems. Would this guy have been able to procure weapons or destruction if he would have been red flagged? Probably. So, to the point that Ender was making on the chat, do the people who are calling to grab guns right now think that the removal of the guns solves the problem? Do they honestly think that? Or is it a means to a political end?
Yes.
I am for controlling guns getting in crazy pants' hands like that guy did yesterday. I don't know how you do it legally, and I'm interested, to Trey Gowdy's point, make the argument that guy should have those guns.
I don't know how you do it legally either, because a lot of the questions we're talking about, you're talking about multiple rights on top of each other. So you can't just say, well, we should just do this because then it infringes on this. And that's why we have this push and pull.
To me, it all comes down to the person who's committing the crime. How do we keep guns out of that person's hand? Because they're not mentally stable. It's the person who we have to regulate, not the inanimate object. You keep that inanimate object out of his hands, he's going to get something else, or he's going to get it from somewhere else. So you have to regulate those people. And yes, keep them from getting guns, but you have to do it without making sure that people who could have protected that situation are still able to have guns to protect themselves. More after the break. Don't go away. RulerFoods.com. Dinner's easy with DiGiorno pizza, $3.99 each. We had a whole long conversation about frozen pizzas earlier today in a meeting. And if you go to Ruler Foods and you're looking to stock up on those easy meals for an evening when you're busy and crazy and hectic, but you still want to get home and eat, you throw frozen pizza in the oven. That's the Fry family way. Yeah, it's kind of mailing it in, but everybody's happy at the end. If you're saving on pizza, you're saving at Ruler Foods. If you want to grab some Pepsi, Coke, A&W root beer products, 4 for $17 when you buy 4. You can also enjoy some Kroger Deluxe ice cream, 48 ounces for just $1.99 each. These all sound like great things to celebrate a Labor Day weekend. So get to Ruler Foods and fill that cart up for less. You can fill up your virtual cart as well for less when you go to rulerfoods.com. Schedule a delivery. Did you know you can save on your groceries with a Ruler Foods delivery directly to your door? When you go to rulerfoods.com and you fill up that virtual cart there, I'm going to give you a code right now that's going to help you save $10 off a $60 delivery purchase at rulerfoods.com. Here's what you need to put in. Super Saver. That's Super Saver. All one word. You save $10 on a $60 delivery when you go to rulerfoods.com.
You all remember me mentioning my wife's thermostat being broke because of the the change of women evidently have to go through, which is horrible. People called me asking me how did she feel about me sharing her insanity. I did notice seeing her looking through a fork at me. So, hey, guys, if your wife, your girlfriend, your better half is looking through a fork at you, look it up. Why? You're going to be shocked. But she's still happy that she's got air conditioning. So, you need help. You need pricing. Somebody told you need new equipment. Remember, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. But guys, look up wives looking through forks at husband. You better change your program around. God bless.
Asking you the question, do you pray, yes or no? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. Very quick and to the point. We'd like to know, and then we'd like to hear from you what that means to you. How often do you pray? You know, you can add your own story to this by typing in Annie Fry and clicking on today's date on YouTube and voting there and leaving a comment. We will get to those during the show. 1:38. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
From Hillsboro to Highland, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my.
You know who Dawn Staley is?
Is she related to Lane Staley, the lead singer of Alice in Chains?
Can't confirm or deny.
Then no.
A sidetracked note here. Do you know who Aaron Lewis is?
Is he related to C.S. Lewis, the writer of Mere Christianity?
Also cannot confirm
Then
or
no.
deny. I have a hunch on that one, but I don't want to report fake news. Aaron Lewis, I just realized this. Aaron Lewis was on, I think, with Tucker Carlson, and I did an interview, sat down with him to talk about the music industry. He's kind of a country singer, but kind of like a Chris Stapleton, a little more Southern blues, Southern rock country world, which is the country world I love to live in. He was the lead singer of Stained.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and now I've seen Aaron Lewis songs on my Sirius XM when I'm driving home, and I was like, okay. But then I was listening to talk to Tucker Carlson, I'm like, I'm a huge Aaron Lewis fan. Man, Stained. Been a while. Oh,
sorry to
song.
all my bros out there, but don't care about Aaron Lewis or Stained.
You didn't like Stained?
I didn't.
Yeah, they were too good for you. Dawn Staley is the women's South Carolina basketball coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
She beat Caitlin Clark and Iowa in the championship, the one where everybody watched. People can't even tell you who was in the men's championship that year. Everybody was watching Caitlin Clark in the championship game play the better team, South Carolina, and Dawn Staley. Incredibly talented coach, very successful coach, handled the whole situation where she's coaching against the American darling and still won. Handled it greatly. It was complimentary. I have nothing bad to say about Dawn Staley.
Situation from Jersey Shore.
What?
I'm just name dropping. That's my thing in this segment.
Anyway, Dawn Staley, the coach for the women's basketball team at South Carolina, incredibly successful coach, interviewed to coach the New York Knicks.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
She's 55 years old. Fox News reports that she interviewed for the position before the Knicks hired Mike Brown in July. Staley said, I would have had to do it, not just for me, for women.
Oh, for you, Annie.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. To break that. So I'm mad at the Knicks.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I didn't know until just this last break when I read this story, though.
Oh, okay.
Because now women are so downtrodden over this. I would have had to do it, not just for me, for women, to break that door open. I would have had to. It's the New York Knicks. I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks. It's a Catalina wine mixer. Staley was one of many candidates the Knicks interviewed for the head coaching vacancy. The Knicks also interviewed Charlotte Hornets coach James Borrego, former Memphis Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins, and Minnesota Timberwolves assistant Micah Norrie. She thought she did well in the interview, but she questioned whether she hurt her chances by asking the Knicks how they would handle the impact of hiring the NBA's first female head coach.
Oh my gosh, that sounded like the setup to a Weekend Update joke. I thought I did well in the interview until I asked the question, do I look good in this?
This is what she said. How, if you hired me as the first female head coach in the NBA, would it impact your daily job? Because it would. You're going to be asked questions that you don't have to answer if you're a male coach. There's going to be the media and all this other stuff that you would have to deal with that you didn't have to deal with and don't have to deal with when you hire a male. That got them thinking, maybe she's right. Yeah, she's right.
Ooh. So is this a PR stunt? Does she have any chance of getting this job, or is it just that, we're going to make some waves by having her interview for it?
She said she felt the energy change after her questions, so I shot myself in the foot by being inquisitive and asking all those darn questions. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Dawn Staley, incredible, legendary basketball coach. Not girls basketball coach, but basketball coach. Ask people who know something about basketball and coaching. Ask them who Pat Summitt is, and see if they say she is an incredible girls basketball coach or if she's an incredible coach. Dawn Staley is not. She's not good in this small section of basketball. She's good. She's great. She's legendary. Why does she need to coach the Knicks? The Knicks don't need that.
Well, she needs it. I mean, it would be good for her.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bull sugar.
No,
she does not. She doesn't need the Knicks.
Heck yes, she does. She would look great. How famous would she be if she was the first female basketball coach in the NBA?
I'm going to interject here and say this is one of those times where Ryan is vehemently disagreeing with me on something he doesn't really care about to see if he can get me going.
Maybe.
The bait won't be taken. But there's no way in heck that if she takes the Knicks job, she'd have to win the championship in order for people to even start to remotely respect her.
Oh, I disagree. I think you'd respect her. Well, as long as it was clear that this was not a DEI hire.
There's no way to do that.
You're right, but she
That's
has
why
to
it's
overcome
a lose-lose
that.
She can't.
Yes.
It's not. I mean, you can't have the most accomplished basketball players on the face of the planet being told what to do by a woman on the court and have the basketball ever be the story. Ever be the story. Just like if Colin Kaepernick would have ever found himself back on a football team, even if he would have had a great season, it never would have been the story of the team who had the great season. It would have always been a story about Colin Kaepernick and politics, which is why he never got brought back in. Whether he was capable or not, I don't know. I don't care. This is just it to me. This is so unnecessary. Everybody knows what this is and what this isn't. It's just unnecessary. Dawn Staley, I'm saying this out of mad respect for Dawn Staley. She doesn't need the New York Knicks at all to be validated in the world of basketball. And the people who think that she would need that, I don't think that they're basketball people. What?
Brad's looking at me like counterpoint.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at him like the people who would say that. And I looked at Ryan.
Well, I agree with the premise that she would never get past the DEI thing because all of society has created a world in which this is what you think when you see something like this. So even if she was the top candidate, which she might be, I don't have no idea.
She wasn't.
She'd never get past it. She'd never get past the DEI stuff.
So they interviewed her and they didn't make a big deal or a big stink about it or anything like that.
I never heard about it until right now.
I haven't heard about it either.
So that tells me that maybe the Knicks were looking at her for her basketball acumen and not because she was a woman.
Possibly.
Maybe this becomes a big story now, though, if it just happened.
Said it happened in July.
Oh, in July.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Never mind then. I still think, though, that she would benefit from getting her name and a resume on an NBA team.
No, there's nothing to benefit from. I'll tell you why that's so offensive. Because it's suggesting she, who has had maximum success in girls basketball, being incredibly accomplished in the way, like one of the things that Dawn Staley did at South Carolina, or does at South Carolina because she's still there, their practice squad, and this is a championship school, like next level good at girls basketball. Their practice squad are students at the school who are males. They practice against men who aren't good enough to play on the men's South Carolina basketball team. That's who she practices against. And she's talked about that. She hasn't run away from that. To suggest that somehow or another Dawn Staley needs the New York Knicks is the biggest middle finger to girls' athletics that I can possibly think of. Because it's suggesting that while she's reached the, no pun intended, summit of where you can accomplish in girls basketball, which I would actually say an NCAA Women's College Basketball Championship outshines the WNBA. We might be getting to the point where it's about even. To suggest that she needs to dabble in men's NBA for something that wouldn't be good for anybody who's involved, and everybody knows that. I can say that confidently right now. That wouldn't end well for anybody. No man wants to go on the New York Knicks and play for a woman coach. That doesn't, that's obvious. It wouldn't end well for anybody. It wouldn't end well for her and her storied, successful, championship caliber career of being a basketball coach would all be summed up to the chick who got to coach the Knicks.
That's true. But if you're just in it for competition, she has achieved everything you could possibly achieve in college. So there's no higher level she could get than to go up to something like the NBA. That's all my argument is. Because all the
it's
other
a bad argument. It doesn't make sense.
All the other points you're making are true. I mean, I agree that she would only be known for that. And then if she was a failure, that's a stain on her legacy.
To suggest that Dawn Staley needs the NBA is to discount what she's accomplished. Let's take a quick break. We can fight more in a minute. Don't go away.
Welcome to my house.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the Bagel Loan, 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. What's a bagel loan? It's a mortgage. The Bagel Loan is a mortgage. It's a new mortgage. It's a refinance on your mortgage. It's a cash out refinance on your mortgage. But all those different types of mortgages that you get under the Bagel Loan, $0 in closing costs. You go get your brand new mortgage. Comes time for closing cost time, that time where you write the check to pay for the whole process. Nope. That was Stewie. Stewart's American Mortgage doesn't use closing costs. They take care of them for you. And if you want to know in great detail how the process works, where they don't get rolled into the loan, you don't have to pay for them later, they're not deferred or anything, they don't exist for you. You call Stewie and he will explain it until you feel very comfortable understanding exactly how it works. But I can tell you, when you get a bagel loan, you don't pay anything in closing costs. If you're looking for a new mortgage, if you're looking for a refinance, call Stewie at 314-324-4440. You can Google the Bagel Loan as well, NMLS number 226715.
Mark Cox here. Join us live Thursday, September 11th at Chicken Ellie's in Eureka as we support Focus Marines Foundation. They're helping post 9/11 veterans transition to civilian life. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Have you been notified that your subsidy for Obamacare health insurance is going away? Well, you can leave now while you are still healthy and can qualify for much better individual plans. Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com has been helping people get affordable health insurance with great coverage for over 35 years. Greg offers private health insurance plans that are not on the ACA marketplace. You can pick your doctors. For most claims, you won't even pay a deductible, and they're 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing, there's no tax penalty at the end of the year. Greg even has plans that are guaranteed acceptance. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan by you, not the government.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
I get up in
Is this the Santa Claus is coming to town guy?
Yeah.
Get this out of here, man.
yeah, that's the guy. His name is Bruce Springsteen.
Whatever. Are you sure?
I'm sure. No, actually, that might be a stage name. I think it is. I don't know his real name.
What else do you want to talk about? Take it from here.
You want to talk about
Anything.
how to not do a kidnapping?
Well, that could take the rest of the show.
If you're going to kidnap somebody, make sure it's not a postal worker in Chicago. Because you will...
Wait. Let me write that down.
Okay. Don't kidnap postal workers in Chicago.
Like cross it off the list like Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison.
Oh, boy.
Man, am I glad I called that guy.
Yeah, a 15-year prison sentence was just handed down to a person who did just that, kidnapped a postal worker in Chicago. A man accused of kidnapping this postal worker in Chicago nearly 3 years ago pleaded guilty on Monday. A Cook County criminal court judge, CCCCC, sentenced Cesar Ramirez, 47, of Chicago, to 15 years behind bars. Ramirez, who was 44 at the time of the October 22 incident, faced multiple felony charges, including aggravated kidnapping and attempted criminal sexual assault. Takes a little turn there, doesn't it? It was on October 22 of 22 that the postal inspector responded to a report of an assault and kidnapping in progress of a United States Postal Service letter carrier. Authorities said, now you know where this is headed. Authorities said the female postal worker entered her mail truck parked in the 2800 block of South Pulaski Road around 9:50 a.m. after leaving a convenience store when she found Ramirez hiding inside the truck.
Mm.
So,
do you ever worry about being attacked?
I can't say no, but not a lot. I would say that there are circumstances where I'm aware that the surroundings are a little dangerous, like a parking garage.
Does
for
it
instance.
change when you're with your wife?
Yes, very much.
Does it change when you're with your kids?
Yes.
How do you handle it when you're with your wife and kids?
I am not thinking about my personal safety in that moment. If I'm alone, that's the only thing I'm thinking about. If I'm with them, all I'm thinking about is how do I protect them just in case of something. And there might not be anything happening, but just what if something happens in this scenario? Am I ready for it? And I do think about it more with them now that you say that.
Oh, for sure.
And that's what I should do. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have you asked this question of your husband?
What?
Do you think about these things when you're with us?
About my safety?
Yeah, about your safety and the
I
kids.
know he does.
Does he talk about it?
He doesn't need to.
He's just looking around, kind of holding his hand on his hip. He's ready to go.
Well,
hand on the holster.
To not elaborate too much, there have been reasons why he's had to be that way. So he has access to all my social media accounts and everything. So he can read everything that comes in. He kind of tries to not look at Twitter because people can say some pretty just outrageously mean and horrific things to me on Twitter. I worry about the day that my kids discover that they can read what people say to me, because they're not there. I don't allow them to have social media. My husband and I are we don't permit that for them to get on those types of platforms. But I am a little worried about what they'll think when they do see how people talk about me.
You think they'll get mad? Or worried?
I think my son will get pretty mad.
That's the appropriate response. You should be happy that he would get mad about that.
My daughter, my oldest daughter, she is so much like me. So she would try to understand why people are talking like that. I think she would try to look past some of the things they say. But I mean, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't get under my skin, but it still gets under my husband's skin a lot. So he's always got his head on a swivel. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Surprise!
Surprise!
surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
AirComfortService.com. Please consider reaching out to Air Comfort Service for any AC, HVAC issues that you might have. You want to make sure that everything is in good working order before it gets way out of whack and then you're replacing it instead of maybe just repairing it. That can make a big difference, right? If you're looking to have a system check done on your AC, your whole HVAC system, whatever, you can call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091 and have Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation. Make sure that your system is ready to handle the heat that we've been experiencing. And of course, if you have the whole system checked, you're going to be able to have them check out your furnace as well at the same time. They offer a preferred partner plan that gets your entire HVAC system checked twice a year, just $19 a month. If you pay monthly, then that 12th month will be free for you as well. Keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Just call 314-513-0091 online at aircomfortservice.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
An update from the FBI on the mass shooting in Minneapolis. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. FBI Director Kash Patel says evidence gathered so far demonstrates an act of domestic terrorism motivated by hate-filled ideology, including anti-Catholic, anti-religious, and anti-Israel references. The shooter left a manifesto and some messages on weapons before committing suicide. Survivors of the church attack yesterday say some parents prevented the shooter from entering the church.
What happened in those doors? Stories will be told, the heroics of the parents, the dads that were there securing the doors at the perimeter, the principal and the priests that were running around, irrespective of gunfire, heads up, not ducking.
And some middle school students helping to protect younger ones. Fox's Nate Foy outside the church in Minneapolis.
People have been dropping off flowers and candles, coming here and praying. There's emotional support animals here. The whole community really coming together in this just unspeakably difficult time. They received a message from Pope Leo expressing solidarity with those impacted last night, and they tell me they're really relying on faith and community to get through this.
2 young children were killed, 18 others injured, including 15 children, one of them still in critical condition. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker accusing President Trump of trying to inflame something in Chicago, suggesting it would justify a federal crackdown on crime as National Guard deployment continues in D.C.
We've been seeing the governor of Illinois parading out there saying that there's nothing wrong with Chicago. It's a great place to live. There's no crime there. He doesn't need President Trump's help. Well, I think the residents of Chicago beg to differ, and the statistics beg to differ.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt. Meantime, Homeland Security is asking a military base outside Chicago to prepare for possible immigration operations, seeking limited support with facilities, infrastructure, and other logistical needs. America is listening to Fox News.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our temperatures will be slightly warmer this afternoon, but the humidity levels are still comfortable. Let's call it 84 today, partly sunny skies. Maybe a pop shower, mainly off to our south and southwest. Clear skies tonight, 61. Friday, sunny and 82. Keep it going for the long holiday weekend. Saturday, sunny and 80. Sunday, sunny, 79. Monday, sunny, 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan, and stay cool this summer. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
You just turn that off right now.
Get rid of that.
Good job.
Get rid of that
Get
open.
done. What happened?
Let's start talking. I'm sick of waiting for it.
That's where it stops.
That's not where it stops.
That's weird. That's the first time it's ever happened.
Yeah, I made that file. That's not where it stops.
It has been like that every time.
No way.
Yeah, I usually just pot it down.
Well, how'd that happen?
Play it again.
No. Sam. I got a headache.
Yeah, you do.
I don't want to do this anymore today.
It's the 2 o'clock hour, though, and it's a Thursday.
I know.
So you know what that means.
Close to being able to mail it in.
When we get to Annie, are you okay? You know it's almost there. And that's coming up. Is that next or the third segment?
Could be next.
I don't know.
Brad's doing the next segment.
Oh, we're doing sports and local next.
Ethan's on assignment. What did we tell him he needed to figure out? We gave him a couple things. We should probably remember what they are before he comes back.
If he comes back and reports on it, it's going to be so boring now.
Take it from here, buddy.
You want to hear the rest of Kevin O'Leary's 5 pieces of blunt life advice?
I'm in no position to be picky.
The first ones, as you know, because you were listening at 12:45, what else are you doing with your life? You are doing this. Think before you spend. That was the first one.
And then they attacked my daily coffee.
Well, a little bit they did. They also asked you to go through your closet and get rid of all those clothes.
That should happen.
It's the season to do that. Right about now, we're not quite into fall yet, but that's every time the season changes, that's the perfect time to do that.
Is that when you do it?
That is when I do it.
You do not.
I do too.
No, you don't.
You want to come over and watch me? I don't know why you would.
You have
Seems
4.
boring.
You have 4 shirts.
No, I don't.
And you've talked.
I've never worn this shirt.
How many days? I know that's a free shirt from the station, buddy. You're not making your case.
But it's brand new to my point.
How many days do you wear your pair of jeans?
Oh yeah, I wear jeans over and over and over. I actually thought last night, these probably are ready for a wash. Can I get another day out of them? And I did.
You have one
Do
pair of pants.
you notice
and
my
4
jeans? I need to
t-shirts.
know the answer to this question.
Everybody talks about them.
Do you notice when I wear jeans over and over?
Yes.
Do you really?
No.
The look on your face suggests that you do not.
I don't want to offend you, but I've never paid attention to your pants.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because I'm going to push it even farther now.
I don't want to smell them.
That is going to be on you because I don't have a very good sense of smell, and I smell. Next one.
Back to Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary. Focus on 3 things you need to get done at work each day. We kind of glazed over that one, but what about that actual piece of advice? Can you focus on 3 things per day to help you manage your life?
You said at work. Are we
Well,
talking about in life?
He says at work, but I think the fact that the way we work is just sort of everything's mixed together. You could apply this to life. Focus on 3 things you need to get done every day.
I don't know how else to say it other than my life is not my own to live. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question either.
My day is driven by who I need to get where and when and what I need to do for them. There is very little in my life that I do for me, which I think is why I love my coffee in the morning so much, because I do that for me. I think I just figured something out about myself. That's my one thing.
What's your one thing, Brad?
I use reusable knives and forks at the station, so that way I don't litter.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's our one thing to save planet Earth.
Oh.
Yours is
Like,
getting coffee every day.
in a plastic cup, and it's delicious.
Brad's is using reusable cutlery.
Yeah, that was like a super inside joke that I forgot that we had. And it's not an us thing. It's an Odyssey thing.
It's an Odyssey thing.
They want us to do one thing.
My one
Which
thing
I thought was setting the bar pretty low.
is that I print
do
out
one.
articles every day on lots of paper.
That's why I was saying yesterday we had that discussion about what is it going to be like to look at your spouse one day. You're just sitting in your house. It's your house. There's no noise. If there's a mess, you made it. And it's just the two of you. And you don't have anywhere to go that you have to go. You don't have anything that you have to do. I cannot imagine that. And people always say, like, you got to still date your spouse and everything because you can't get to that point, however many decades later that is, depending on how far apart your kids are in age, that you get to the point where the kids are out and you've built an entire identity around your children, that you've lost the identity that you have with your spouse. But I mean, I would say for my husband and I, pretty much everything we do, we're still doing it together. We're not in separate places. We are involved in our kids' sports together, which is pretty much the majority of our time, school, all that stuff. But when it's like, what 3 things are you going to do today? And I'm like,
I got 15.
And they're not for me. I mean, like, I'd have to build more time into my day to do stuff.
Are you looking forward to the day when you can say, oh, I don't have anything going on this morning. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to go down to rural King and look at the ducks. Pet the little pet chickens. I think I'm going to do that. Looking forward to that day?
I don't know if my mom's listening right now, but I want to tell a story about my mom being retired that she told me yesterday. You can text me, Mom, if you're listening, because I'd like to tell your story.
Oh, you can't? You have to get permission?
Yeah.
Does it involve petting chickens?
No. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious story, but it's kind of funny. It might be a little embarrassing for her.
Okay. Does it involve chickens at all?
Nope.
What about the meat chicken?
It involves being retired
Chicken
and figuring
nuggets.
out what day it is.
You done?
Yeah, unless my mom texts.
Next one is listen more. It's a superpower, says Kevin O'Leary. Many people, and especially entrepreneurs, have huge egos and love to hear themselves talk, O'Leary said. But when they're talking, they're not listening to anybody, including the people around them, to the market, their customers, their investors, or their employees. You have to learn how to shut up and listen.
I'm super tempted to interrupt you, but I didn't.
It'd be funny.
I would have. I wasn't sure what percentage of our audience would have thought it was funny or not enjoyed the irony.
If you had said it, if you had said, "Can you shut up?" I think that would have been funny.
I was going to just start talking to Brad. Hey, Brad, what do we got coming up?
You should do that. Brad, as an investor in this show.
Listening is such an art. It's such great social politics because nobody does it. Everybody is in the conversation and just waiting for the next time they can talk about themselves or talk about something that has to do with themselves. And people don't do it. Like, that's just the natural human nature. That's the natural way that interactions go on. When you get super close to somebody, if you're intimate in a long relationship, you learn, like, there's a little bit more of a compulsion to not do that, but it's still the basics of conversation is a ping pong. I'm going to say something about me. Oh, that reminds me of the thing that happened to me. And then the other person takes a turn. And a lot of times our relationships are formed on our willingness to listen to other people talk about themselves.
I think that's wise, and I'm just trying to take in that information.
Mm-hmm.
I will ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
When you are talking to somebody outside of this room, we talk a lot to each other. When you're talking to somebody in regular conversation and they ask you a question that's a little bit outside of normal, like, hey, great weather we're having or something, but it's something a little bit deeper, like, what do you do for a living? Or something more specific. Do you think that they're asking you that because they want to know the answer or because they want you to ask them that?
Depends on the person, but the second part is always in play.
I have just learned that in my adulthood in the last 2 years.
Welcome.
That's an strategy of conversation that people use, sometimes unknowingly, to get you to say something that they can talk about that they want to talk about.
I talk about watching YouTube a lot. One of the things that's found its way into my algorithm is probably going to stay because I'm watching all of them, is this guy who is in the CIA who gets people to tell him everything he wants to know, and he's not allowed to ask a question.
This is real?
Yes. Yeah. The way they can approach, like, they will task, when they're training people, they will say, I need you to go into this gas station, and I need you to find out how much money the attendant makes without asking a single question. And that's the task. Because like the CIA, what they do is they go glean information from people.
Dang, that's fascinating.
So I know. That's why I can't stop. Now I'm going to know everything the CIA knows.
I want to know how much that guy makes.
I'm watching YouTube. So what he said he did is he goes into a gas station. He comes in. He says, I'm looking for some potato chips or whatever. And the attendant goes, oh, they're right over here. Let me show you. And he says, I just read this really fascinating article about, I'm making up, this is not about Quick Trip, but people at Quick Trip just got a raise $26 an hour. That's fantastic. And the guy goes, what? No, I only make $17 an hour. Information achieved.
Boy, that was easy.
Yeah. And because people want to talk about themselves. I mean, that's like the biggest understanding in communication. Like if you're trying to get someone to like you or to take a shining to you, you just listen to them talk about themselves. And it doesn't have to be manipulative. It's just good practice, because the truth of the matter is when you're doing that, you're thinking it would be really great if somebody at some point wanted to hear a little bit about me. So another thing they said in the CIA thing was that if you express doubt about something that someone says, there's no way that happened, then they will tell you twice as much stuff about the thing that just happened if they think they have to prove to you that said thing did happen. It's just like all these different tactics in conversation, how these CIA agents can walk into any situation and they get what they want because people just can't, they just spill their guts.
Man, it'd be fun to be the guy training the guy to go do that. And instead of being, you need to find out how much the clerk makes, you need to find out if he's allergic to Shetland ponies. Just the most random information and send him in there.
They're talented. They're the best of them. One more.
Talk about, this one seems oddly specific. Talk about money on the third date.
Yeah.
New couples should talk about money early on when both sides are clearly interested in one another, but aren't yet blinded by love.
Didn't we all got married to our significant others at around the same amount of time? I think money has changed significantly in the last 20 years in relationships. The way people...
I do too, but I couldn't put a finger on what that is.
I kind of wonder if it's debt. Is the amount of debt that people incur now it's not so much the assets as it is the debt.
I would think also it's related to just cost of living, because when you're getting to know somebody, you're going on dates with them, that's going to affect what you do. And therefore, the topic of conversation is going to be about money, because either you can afford to go to an expensive concert together or whatever, or you can't, and so you're going to talk about it. It affects where you live. It affects you still living with your parents. You got a job.
Rick says money is a major cause of divorce, probably the leading cause of divorce. And you have to be open and honest. I'm for joint checking accounts and stuff, like mixing your money. I think that's if you fully trust somebody, then I think that's you have to have that full trust, for better for worse, in marriage that exists beyond money. I don't think money should be made exempt. I'm sure that money people would be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, no. If you're going to fully trust somebody,
I think
that's one of the main ways to trust them.
I know, but I think that money people would advocate for you to protect your money. I think marriage people would advocate to protect your marriage. And I think that those paths of advice go separate ways.
Possibly.
Just like the marriages.
Thank you for listening. You've done a great job on point number 3.
Can I be done now?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Brad can play the music if he wants to.
Let's hand it over to Brad for the next segment.
Here you go, Brad.
Listen to Brad. I'm going to lay back down on the ground over here. Pretty soon. Not quite yet. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
We're more than just friends. Oh, baby, it might seem like
the Retirement Advisory Group online at retirementkey.com. Please consider reaching out to Tammy Kershaw, to Bob Kershaw, Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and just start the conversation with them when you are at that point where, okay, you've been saving for a long time. You've needed to build up that retirement base, but now you're getting to the point where you're like, gosh, I really wonder, maybe I was planning to retire at 65. I wonder if I could retire earlier. Maybe I was planning to retire at 62 and there was a bump in the road and you're wondering if you can still make that happen. You got to talk to experts. And the Retirement Advisor Group, these are experts. 314-993-9494. Call and schedule a no-cost, no-obligation review of your retirement at 314-993-9494. And talk to them about where you are, and you'll listen to how they can help you customize a personalized structured income plan. RetirementKey.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, did you just have your house painted? Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, no, it's actually Rhino Shield.
877-25rhino.com.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Bringing us the news, sports, and other information that we need in our local area.
What's that from?
That's from a listener who recorded that on the Odyssey app a while back.
Thank you.
And since it didn't have Ethan's name in it,
Yeah.
I thought it was perfect for today.
Ethan's out today and tomorrow. He'll be back on Tuesday, along with the rest of us after the Labor Day weekend. Brad's filling in today. What do you got?
Well, the first story that I've got is that St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery has been indicted on a new federal charge. I'm going to lead with this by saying this is a different charge from anything that has to deal with the pro quo warranto that A.G. Bailey did to remove him from office. This is a different one. The new charge stems from a situation connected with Tammy Ross. She was a jail administrator, and she was detained by the sheriff's office when the sheriff could not get access to a rape victim he sought for an interview. So the charge is...
Where's this report from?
This is from Fox 2. The charge is a misdemeanor, and like I said before, it was unrelated from the Attorney General's quo warranto case, which is an effort to remove Montgomery from office. And today he pled not guilty to a count of deprivation of rights under color of law, and he was released from a court hearing on a recognized bond.
So those are federal charges.
Federal charges, but misdemeanor.
Man, this guy has not been in this position for that long, has he? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know whenever he took office.
He's been under a lot of investigations.
Yeah. So I wonder. It has me wondering how long he is for that position, because you can't have your sheriff keep getting busted by higher up legal people. That's not great. Another story I have here. This weekend is college football. This is the big kickoff. Are you guys excited about that? Do you watch college football? Annie, I know you say you watch Notre Dame, but
And Illinois.
And it's more for your husband, right?
No.
No, you actually like.
It's my womanly duty. I make him dinner and let him have his game.
As long as he's happy.
That's exactly how he feels.
I guess I
like,
misunderstood
who the hell
what you were
is
saying.
this chick?
You became a Notre
Somebody
Dame.
said help. That's not Annie.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You became a Notre Dame fan because he was a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. But I am a college football fan and an Illinois fan. ILL.
I.
Thank you.
I.
I was just looking down to read this. The University of Missouri has told fans that they can no longer rush the field after wins.
Oh, they had reversed course on that.
That's not going to stop them.
I'm just kidding. They never told people, go rush the field.
It's not like they're like, all right, everybody, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1, we won.
You just beat K-State. Get on out there.
Tear down the goalposts, everybody. It's fun.
It doesn't cost anything. It's fine. Celebrate.
How do you guys feel about this? Like, don't storm the field after a big win.
Well, I storm the field after any win, no matter the sport. So this is a huge loss for me.
Because you think it's the quickest path to the bathroom.
No, I think it's the quickest path to the exit, trying to avoid the crowds.
He's like, is that a bucket of high chews?
Excuse me, giving people stiff arms along the way.
Excuse me, sir. What's the quickest way to Washington?
Stopping.
I'm parked near the Wainwright building.
Posing like the Heisman.
This comes after they were fined $100,000 by the SEC back in 2023 after defeating Kansas State on a game-winning field goal, and $250,000 after defeating Kansas in basketball in 2024. So the president wrote a letter. He said, "Dear Tigers, as we get ready to embark on another thrilling year of Mizzou football, we wanted to highlight a very important topic, field rushes and fines. Beginning with the 2025 season, Mizzou students and fans will no longer rush the field. We expect to win each game that we play, and we can celebrate in the stands with our fellow fans, and we can celebrate outside the venues, and we can share memories for years to come."
They're gonna beat some team that's paying to play them by 50, and they're going on the field.
This reminds me of during COVID, whenever they opened up some of the theme parks in Japan, and they were like, "Please scream silently on the inside."
Oh yeah, I remember that. What a crazy story.
So if we rush the field, they'll be fined $500,000 by the SEC, and that money goes directly to our opponent. It sounds to me like this is a safety hazard thing, but one of my favorite field rushing moments, and I believe it was Tennessee, they rushed the fields, I think they beat Alabama, they tore down the goalposts, and they carried the goalposts through downtown Tennessee and threw it in the Cumberland River.
College.
Only in college football.
Can I share one story with you? I pulled a local because I didn't know if we were all doing it or I just was like, I'm going to go one anyway. All right. Jury convicts St. Louis man in $200,000 Kohl's cash scam.
Is this you?
No.
You're just mad you didn't think of it first.
I am. St. Louis man was convicted Tuesday for orchestrating a scheme to steal more than $200,000 in merchandise from Kohl's.
$200,000. It was worth $1 million, though.
Well, it depends on if it was retail. If it was $200,000 retail, it's probably about $100,000. You know what I'm saying?
No, you went the wrong way.
I think I went the right way.
No, you definitely are going the wrong way.
According to U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Missouri, the jury found 35-year-old Marshall Lampkin guilty on 5 counts of mail fraud after deliberating for less than 7 minutes, so it was really quick. Here's what the scheme was. Evidence and testimony at the trial showed that Lampkin devised a scheme to use Kohl's Cash, promotional store coupons that offer dollar amount off of eligible merchandise, twice.
Okay. I thought you were going to go into your diatribe of what qualifies for Kohl's Cash, but we don't have time for that.
No, I'm not. He was using it twice, more than 100 times between 2021 and 2022 at 40 different stores across 13 states. Lampkin would use his Kohl's cash to purchase merchandise at Kohl's department stores, usually totaling more than $1,000 at a time. Then Lampkin would immediately use the same Kohl's cash to order merchandise online, knowing the in-person transaction had not yet registered. He would then return the items purchased in store for refund in Kohl's cash to repeat the scam. A lot of respect here from me. Although I would never do that.
For the law enforcement involved?
Yes, for the law enforcement
the
involved, that
scammer?
they were able to catch him. Because I would never do something like that. But when I hear that, I think, pretty interesting scheme there that you should never do.
Don't do it now. They know.
I'm not sure who you're talking to.
I'm talking to Brad.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brad's turn, because he's got more stories. I just wanted to share that one.
Oh, man. I got one more story here that we can share, and it's kind of like a two-parter. So Powell Hall, you guys symphony fans?
I think they're very talented. I love going to Powell Hall.
That's what I was going to say.
So Powell Hall has set a reopening date for, and this is from Channel 4, reopening date for their renovations at Powell Hall, and it's an open house. So the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra has announced new details for reopening Powell Hall after a 2-year, multi-million-dollar expansion. And it will be September 19th, and it'll be at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center to celebrate the finished renovations. Before the hall opens, there will be a free community concert. It will be held in Forest Park on Wednesday, September 17th. And this annual performance under the stars will welcome thousands of music lovers from across the region to Art Hill. World premiere performances and celebrations will continue on the opening weekend of September 26th through 28th. A variety of artists are set to perform, and the full list can be found on the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra website. This November, Powell Hall will turn 100, and it has been the home of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra since 1968.
Do you feel rich when you listen to the
symphony? Did you just read a
symphony?
report there? Is that a report that you read?
Yeah.
Who was it from?
That was from Channel 4, First Alert 4.
And who wrote it? Does it say?
It doesn't say.
Do you feel rich when you listen to the symphony, or do you feel rich because you have a family who loves you? Either
Yes.
or. Either or.
I have symphony. I think it's called Symphony. I have that Sirius XM channel saved on my.
Do you listen to classical?
Yeah.
It always makes me feel a little too classy.
Well.
Like I should be drinking.
What?
But I'm usually in my car, so I can't.
What do you think you should be drinking? Like high C?
Cognac.
Mm.
No rocks.
No, it calms my brain. Generally, I'm compelled to think, like to drive home. If I got Fox News on in the car, I listen to it coming here. I do the show. I've got how many inputs of information right now in front of me that I'm working through, and then I go home and I'll listen to Fox or Mark Reardon on the way home, and then I go home and then I watch news more. Or if last night I was sitting at a volleyball game at the high school, and one of my friends was there, and he's like, "Do you ever unplug?" And I was like, "No." And then I put my phone down because I thought I should, because I was reading stuff about the shooting yesterday, and it was not really positive information. But there is something about my brain that is still activated in a positive way when I'm listening to classical music. But the fact that I don't know where the music is going most of the time allows my brain to have to work, but in a more calm way.
What do you listen to calm down? Ode to Joy?
Just the Symphony Channel.
Just anything that comes on?
Or nothing.
I listen to Ode to Joy.
It's not. Is that Ode to Joy?
I think so. If it's not, I really botched that.
I was singing Ode to Joy.
Maybe it's a different part of Ode to Joy. I don't actually know.
Annie, are you okay next? Maybe?
Sure.
We'll be right back.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-334-1155. 800-334-1155. Again, that's 800-334-1155.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
This is your chance to win a free basic handgun skills class from the Range St. Louis West. Mark Cox here, 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin is where the range sits, and you got to go. This is ideal for beginners, expert instruction. They have it available in a women-only class if you're more comfortable. Normally, the class is $135. You can win right now. TheRangeSTL.com/971. Again, TheRangeSTL.com/971.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peter's does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Do you pray, yes or no? That is today's YouTube live chat poll here on Thursday, August 28th. It is 2:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Fox News National, St. Louis Local, 97.1 FM Talk.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Trisha. Hi, Annie and crew. We're mailing it in. Woo! Thanks for being a part of it.
2:30.
Trump's trying to make it illegal. We're mailing it in so much. Multiple times.
All right. People are running and jumping on all fours like animals for a fitness trend that could give you a six-pack.
I hate it.
Let's hear her out.
A rising fitness trend has people...
A six-pack and abs or in like root beer?
A rising fitness trend has people channeling their inner animal by walking, running, and even jumping on all fours, a form of movement known as quadrobics. The unconventional style of exercise is gaining traction on social media, where devotees are showing off their bear crawls and cat leaps, often while wearing furry masks and tails.
Oh, hell.
There it is.
The words of my World War II veteran Army Captain Grandpa. Hell.
So it's a popular exercise in certain subcultures. Some on social media are touting its effectiveness as a full-body workout. Annie, are you okay with channeling your inner animal?
Yeah, she's fine with that. I can speak on behalf of Annie.
And which animal would that be? What is my inner animal, Ryan?
Vulture.
Whoa,
man.
Dang. Something happened before I got here.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, well,
just because you don't know classical
I can tell you
music.
exactly what happened. Right before the show, we had our meeting this morning at 10. After that meeting, we went outside and she ate a bunch of dead carcasses.
In the parking lot.
In the parking lot, like she does.
I had Greek yogurt. That was what I ate.
Looked like a dead squirrel.
Woman arrested for...
The bear crawl is a good exercise. I just don't know why you would dress up while you do it.
Because you're trying to hook up with some freaks.
I was going to say channeling your inner animal. But...
See, when I start mailing it in, Ryan's like, I could fill that space.
I've hosted this show before.
Never in my presence. Woman arrested for unlicensed dental work. She used crazy glue on victims' teeth. That was a terrible headline.
Victims.
Florida, of course.
Florida woman.
A woman is behind bars after police say she performed dental work without a license, leaving victims in pain and in need of emergency care.
I would say so.
She advertised on social media as a veneer technician, promising discount smile makeovers.
How do you think? Like, you have to know that jig is going to be up.
Wait, let's
you
hear her
have
out.
to know that the shot. You can't say that every time. You have to know when you're engaging in this type of scammery that it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, but if you can make a couple $100, you're probably fine with it. You went and got some dollar glue, and you're like, man, this is a pretty good payoff.
Okay, Mr. Cole's Cash. Go on, Trisha.
Well, she used crazy glue to attach fake veneers. That's pretty much the story. Now she's in jail. She did get away with it for a while. Annie, are you okay with crazy glue?
The crazy glue story that sends a shiver down my spine is when old people accidentally use crazy glue instead of eye drops.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
Google it.
Horrible.
Google,
What?
Google
That's
it.
awful.
Google crazy glue eye drops, and you'll pull up a story, and like some well-intended old lady she's got her eye, she's trying to fix her eyes. She reaches over, she grabs the crazy glue, and puts it in her eyes.
It's maybe the worst thing I've ever heard.
Crazy glue can be very handy. I don't know how you put it on anything without getting your fingers stuck together, though. Right?
Yeah.
No? Just me?
I find it able to do.
Crazy glue, easy. Words, super hard.
Play the little thing, Brandon. Tourist company chartering.
What's the matter with you?
Tourist company chartering nude cruises to exotic destinations.
Doable.
Well, let's hear
That's
her
the
out.
word. That's the word I was looking for.
I like how you come into nude cruise with doable.
Doable.
Great.
Oh, shoot. I didn't think about that.
Go on.
It's called Bare Necessities.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And wait for
That's
it.
the name of the cruise?
Yep. The cruise line. And travel buffs who prefer vacationing in the buff can live their best life on board a cruise ship for anywhere from $13,000 to $50,000.
Is it still all you can eat?
Wait. They are required to cover up at mealtime in the dining room.
With onion rings.
However, the self-serve buffet is a clothes-free area.
Clothes-free?
Clothes-free at the buffet.
You're nude at the buffet?
You're allowed to be. Annie, are you okay?
Ryan, why would you do that?
Well, if the clothes are free, I'd go.
The clothes.
If that's what that
if
means.
anything is free, he's going. It doesn't matter what
Ryan
it is.
shows up.
$15,000 for the cruise, but you get a free polo shirt.
That's whenever we go on vacation, we always say it. They'll be like, it's free. We're like, it's not free. It's included. It's very different. Ryan, you would be the guy to show up there and be like, I heard this was clothes free. Where's the free clothes? And you're standing there with a bunch of overweight, naked people, retirees.
Waiting for a laugh.
Yeah.
I heard the clothes were free here. And then just waiting.
Is there
just
a
stand.
situation, Ryan, in your life where you would feel comfortable being in the nude in public?
Let me reverse that question and say, is there a situation where I wouldn't? You thought I was going to ask about you, didn't you?
I did.
I'm not. I would feel comfortable in most situations.
You would not.
Would you say that my body warrants it?
There's no answer. There's none.
Are you okay with buffets?
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
What about if there's a chocolate fountain?
That's the worst. You see the
You
kids.
can put anything in that.
Like your hands, your child's hands going in there like, no.
Yeah,
No
that's the point.
buffets. No.
You can lick your hands.
Oh.
Put a steak. You
trying
ever
to
put a
think-
steak in chocolate?
You know the only buffet that I will enjoy that I can think of off the top of my head?
Chinese.
Pantera's pizza
Yeah.
buffet, because you can watch the pizzas come out, and I'm like getting a piece of that pizza that was just set
Do
down.
you stand right by the kitchen?
No, but the buffet is right next to the kitchen. It's like 3 steps.
You're not standing right next to the kitchen waiting for the pizzas to come out.
She does.
no.
She stands right there by the door.
Let's see what they have next.
Peeking around the corner.
My turn.
That one looks good. It's cheesy.
There's no buffet that I want to partake in. Ever.
Except for pizza.
No, not really. I wouldn't prefer that. I would prefer to have my pizza sent to my table that is just for my family.
Even on a cruise and the crab legs are included.
I don't eat seafood, and I've never been on a cruise.
What if everybody's naked?
I don't know how that changes the circumstances for me. For you, on the other hand. I know we already did it. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm being jolted.
The nudity does not affect the buffet for me.
He's starting it again.
It doesn't?
No.
At all?
I'd go.
Sorry, I know you played the thing, Brad.
Does it affect your appetite?
It affects the way I would ask for certain dishes. Like you
what?
don't walk in there and go, "Can I get a whole bunch of stuffing?"
Why?
Because that's implying something else to naked people.
How do you know? How do you know their language?
You're worried about the innuendos, not about the body parts,
I am.
the exposed body parts near your buffet
Yes.
items.
What
Yeah.
else?
Can somebody get me a big hot dog? No, you're naked.
Well, this buffet's no fun. I
Right.
can't eat hot dogs.
The specificity of this
milk.
conversation makes me feel like he has experience. Let's move on.
Serial butt sniffer arrested in California.
Wait, cereal with an S.
Cereal with an S.
Okay.
A creepy 38-year-old man was arrested for allegedly taking a woof of a woman. Woof. A woof. He's doing the
Oh man, that woman's wasn't
animal
very good.
athletics.
Woof.
A whiff of a woman's rear end in public, and it wasn't his first go around, as police dubbed him a serial butt sniffer. This most recent arrest comes less than 2 weeks after his release from a men's correctional center for the same crime. In one instance, he was at a Barnes & Noble bookstore pretending to be looking at a book on the lower shelf when he leaned over and took a whiff of a woman's butt.
Listen, Jeff, we're gonna let you out of prison. Yes. Are you gonna sniff anybody's butts?
No.
No. Okay. Are you serious? You're not. Yes. Okay. What does he do right away?
Barnes & Noble.
He goes, after Barnes & Noble, he hit up Nordstrom Rack, Walmart, Urban Outfitters, and Marshalls.
What do you call 2 Nordstrom Rack locations?
Busty.
What's the question?
Are you okay with bookstores?
Bookstores are a great idea. I always go in and I'm like, I just don't think they want me here. Have you ever gone into a bookstore?
I love them. I feel at home there.
I love being in them. It's like another world. You go in there and you're like, this is what the other side looks like. It smells good in there. It smells like fresh books and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Smells good unless you're doing what that guy's doing.
You can tell.
That probably smells good to him, or he wouldn't keep doing it.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't
he
wanna
likes
just-
it nasty.
Oh, my.
Too far.
Was it though?
Yep, that was the line.
Okay, I think we're done here.
Crossed it. All right, one more. Robot masseuse debuts in San Antonio. A new high-tech
robot masseuse.
Yeah, you're going to love it. A
Ooh,
new
do
high-tech
you like
massage
that?
option is turning heads in San Antonio, where Float Wellness Spa has installed an AI-powered robot masseuse.
I could use that right now.
The system scans a client's body with 4 cameras, maps roughly 1.2 million data points into a 3D model, and then uses heated mechanical arms to deliver a customizable massage that you control on a touchscreen.
Does this robot have like robot eyes and ears and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is it
No, it's
you
like
and your robot eyes. You and your robot nose.
What are you doing?
What's new, robot masseuse? Oh, whoa, whoa.
I don't get the reference.
Okay.
Is it
Is that
less
an
creepy?
original?
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
it less
Jones.
creepy when robots serve a function but don't look like human machines? Like a chair, you go to get your pedicure done, and you sit in a chair,
And they do that
and it's
massage
giving
thing?
you. It's
Yeah.
like a machine giving you a massage.
Does that
it feels
count
great.
as a robot, though? Because this is AI powered. Those aren't AI powered. I don't know the line.
Well, that's just a smarter massage chair. But I mean, like, it doesn't need to have a head
Yeah, it does.
and eyeballs.
A robot needs to have a head and a face.
Why?
Whenever I see a little iRobot roaming around cleaning up the floor, I'm like, you're not a robot. Get a face. You
They're
stupid
coming
little
after
circle
you first,
thing.
Ryan.
No, they're not, because I have already explicitly said that I'm in favor of them
They know.
and that they're
on the
superior
record.
to us. But that's why they need eyes and a face. If they start by giving us a massage, great. Eventually, we'll be giving them massages.
Every massage starts with some ulterior motives. So little did we know that it was to take over the world.
Tell me when I hit the spot.
Are you okay with massages?
Yes, they're my favorite. I just said I wish Rose was still here. I have a
Oh, that was the best.
yes. Miss you, Rose.
Yeah. You're
I
the
need-
best, Rose.
I actually asked Ryan a little bit earlier in the show if he could like chiropractor crack my neck. That would be the end of this.
I just
But-
joked my way out of it because I was definitely not going to do it.
Trisha, thank you for being in here. We appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get the results to today's YouTube live chat poll. Do you pray? Yes or no? We'll be right back.
It does doesn't matter what I say.
Scott Jennings here. I'm excited to be part of the St. Louis conservative conversation, cutting through the noise with unfiltered common sense.
Scott Jennings.
Weekdays at 8 p.m.
on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're glad that you're here with us today. The YouTube live chat poll, do you pray? Yes or no? You can hustle up and go vote before we wrap it up here in about 6 minutes from now. There's a video that's going around on social media, and I love this. I wanted to do this story while Ethan was here, but I just didn't get around to getting it done. Well, I guess maybe I should infer that maybe this did happen. When did you go from looking at your mom as your caretaker to maybe I need to start taking care of her? And I mean, I'm sure your moms don't need you to like physically do things for them, but isn't there a time in a son's life where you realize that she's provided for you, you know, the absolute most basic needs to exist, where you get old enough to go, like, I think that, you know, you did that story earlier from Kevin O'Leary. And it's, what was the point? There's like, you need to kick your kids out of the house, basically.
Oh, yeah. The last one was children need to leave the nest.
And you said that you thought that would be hard for me. And I don't ever want my kids to leave my nest. But I also want grandchildren. So I can figure out the science behind needing to let go and understanding the benefits of it. But I don't think my mother heart is ever going to be like, get out of here. Ever. And I don't think it'll ever be easy. Do you remember a time in your life where you kind of shifted your perspective on your mom as the person who provided all of that care for you, to where you kind of started to think, I would assume it would coexist with whenever you came into feeling more of like a young man as opposed to a child? Or
That's a hard question. I don't know that I would have specifically thought that about my mom, but about my parents in general, that someday they're going to get to the point where they're going to need me to take care of them more than I was taken care of. I would say that in the last few years, I've realized that that's probably going to be a reality. We're not there, but I am looking ahead and going, oh, okay, I'm probably going to be, me and my brother, the ones that have to take care of somebody at that point. So I would say it pretty recently, if I had that realization at all. I don't know, I'm sort of realizing it as I'm saying it.
Do you feel like you have to care for your parents?
No, not at all. They're completely self-sufficient. But I also realize that when that day comes, now I'm in that place.
Do you feel like your parents care for you?
Yes.
Still?
Yeah, they still. I mean, my dad loves making food, and my mom will still do some of our laundry sometimes for the kids when we're just overwhelmed, like during the school year.
My mother-in-law does that. It is the best.
Yeah, it's great.
She did that. She gave us a Christmas gift. It was like a Ring camera and stuff for the house, but it came with a note that was like, when Molly comes over every week, bring your laundry. And I'm like, that is the best Christmas gift I have ever been given. Like, you could keep the ring. Just the laundry, because it never ends. It's the worst thing ever. I wanted to share this because I just thought this was incredible. I don't know if this looks like it's middle school or whatever, and I'm sharing the video here. But this school, those kids look like middle school kids. They have a tradition of kissing your mom goodbye on the first day. So there's a bunch of people, they crowd outside, and as people get dropped off, they're supposed to kiss their mom goodbye. And you can tell that these kids are doing it. That kid looks like he's maybe in high school. You can tell that they're doing it because they're doing it for their mom. Like, that's the thing about what O'Leary was saying about, like, pushing your kids out in the world and being willing to let go of them. There is a point where, as a child, you realize that all of that love and affection that a mother, I'm speaking from a mom's, I know that it comes from a father as well, but it's just different from a mom. That affection, that nurturing. There's a point where, as a child, you grow into the understanding that she's loving on me because she needs to. And I need to let her. Or maybe sometimes be like, not now, Mom. My kids are really good at letting me do those things, and they know that I restrain myself. But I'm just wondering if that's something, specifically with boys, when you determine it's time to detach a little bit from the apron strings.
Man, I don't know, but
if that sets in.
My twins are 11. They are not. I don't say that they're not loving, but they're not lovey.
Affectionate?
Yeah, they're just not. My 8-year-old is, and I'm realizing.
Is it different to you than it is to Mrs. Wiggins?
Yeah, a little bit. Although he just loves hugs and, Dad, can you lay with me before bedtime, just
Presents.
so I can just be around?
Yeah.
And I'm doing that right now and going, man, how long does that last?
Because
I don't know.
Every time you do it, you think to yourself, like, is this the last time they're going to want me to do this? And I realized one time in the last 2 months or so, Charlie is just like me. He can't just go lay down in bed and go to sleep. He could stay up all night. He could sleep in all day, just like me. And he couldn't sleep. And I had gone to bed a little bit earlier, and he came in and he goes, can I lay in here? And I go, yeah, if you want to. He goes, you told me once that I could lay in your bed with you anytime I wanted. And I was like, get in here. And then, like, we'll sit and we'll look at, like, baseball reels or something on Instagram or whatever. But I know that my 15-year-old son, if I hug him or whatever, he'll let me end the hug. And I know for a fact he's doing that for me. It is not what he prefers. But he's allowing me to do that. My daughter, it's different with my daughters. It's not better one way or the other or worse one way or the other. But I'm like studying everything with my son right now because I know that my time with him is limited at home. And it's just really kind of crazy to watch this little thing that needed you for every single thing to get to the point right now where I'm pretty sure my son could survive on his own if he needed to at 15. There'd be some rough patches, but he could do it. It's a difficult thing to go through, but it's also really cool. It's hard.
A lot of people have been exactly where you're saying. I'm not there yet, but I know a lot of people listening have been there.
Yeah, or are doing that with their last kid.
Yeah.
Where I'm just getting into it with my first. The YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you pray? Everybody in here? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously. We have 267 votes in today's poll, and 89% of you say yes. A lot of comments, too, people saying yes, but not as much as I should. Here's your encouragement to do that, to open your heart and to do that today. I would say less thoughts and more prayers. How about that? The Mark Reardon Show coming up next on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves